Hello, and welcome to Famicast 240, your Famicast for the latter part of February 2023. I'm your host, Danny Bivens, and today I'm joined, as always, by James Charlton.
We're doing it live. We're doing it again. It's always more fun to troll us in real time, live, the live stream. I welcome it.
I agree.
If you want to troll Danny as much as you want, just come on, do it.
Somebody else on
shit
this
posts in the chat.
There
That's
it is.
right.
Speaking of shit post, the number one shit poster
Nice.
on at least the podcast, maybe even the internet, Ty Sugar.
Oh yeah, it's me, terminally online.
What's good, boys?
Lemonade's in the chat. What is Famicast?
Yes.
Nobody knows.
We don't know. We don't know.
What is
family
based? It's a family podcast for the kids.
Dude, what is great though? I mean, I've been adding like subtitles to videos and stuff like that I upload lately, and like the auto translate almost always does the family cast. Like it literally says that. Like,
gather around, kids.
Yeah, nice
We're
try.
not supposed to swear. We're supposed to swear in like the first, 30 seconds?
Fuck.
Yeah.
we're already past the one. Yeah, we're 1 minute 45. It's fine.
We're past the threshold. I think the intro kind of helps that out.
Right.
But yeah, another exciting show for you guys here today. Jam-packed with new games to talk about, a lot of news to talk about, lots of news to talk about. Yeah,
well,
so
Famicast last episode, right? So as we were wrapping up the show, the direct started. But we did throw a little bit of bonus in the last show.
Yeah.
My kind of immediate reactions, right? But we'll talk about more in depth today,
yeah. Yeah, exactly. Because James did a reacts video at 7 a.m. because he's a madman. And I don't think he had to work that day.
That's right. I had a day off. Why not? Why not?
Yeah. But yeah, then if you missed it, we put that at the end of the audio episode too, just in case you're not a video type of person or whatever. So that was that. But yeah, today we're going to talk about a lot of stuff from the direct, some of the stuff that we have got our hands on, we've played. Yeah, so let's just go ahead and kick things off with the old new business.
Makes literally no sense.
Yeah, and I'm going to go ahead and kick things off here today. A couple of different things to talk about on my side. There is something Nintendo Direct related that I will talk about here in a bit. But before that, I wanted to talk a little bit more about Theater Rhythm Final Bar Line because the game came out last week on Switch and PS4. I picked it up. I picked up like the digital premium crazy edition, all of the DLC. You get bonus songs with it too, like over 500 songs or something like that. And
do they mail a keychain to your house or something like that?
If you,
I was talking to Danny off stream. He said he played it for 8 hours on Monday.
Yeah. I was.
That's like the kind of shit I do. So good job.
I was feeling
8 hours in one day.
Yes, I was feeling a bit under the weather on Monday, so I ended up staying home from work, and I felt better. Even when I wasn't feeling that great, I was playing games anyways. Because what else am I going to do? But yeah, I played.
Enix.
Yeah, I played Theater Rhythm for 8 hours on Monday. That was awesome. I even got to play a little bit of the online mode because there's like an online battle mode that's in there, and I got to play against our very own Balls.
Oh, there is. Word? Just joined.
You have no idea what I'm talking about. The Balls is a friend of ours who's a patron, just all around a good guy, and he hit me up on Discord. He's like, "Hey man, you want to play?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." So I threw down and. I got a little bit of footage that I'm going to throw up here.
You dropped 2 balls down. He said, "Let's do it."
Exactly. That's how we do here. But
who has the biggest balls?
Yes.
Good.
Yeah, and here we go. Surprise! With all of the issues that people have had with Switch Online and just stuff like that, I was really happy to see that there was really no issues at all with this game when it came to like online. What this does, you can play with basically up to 2 to 4 players online against people simultaneously. You're basically just, you're trying to hit the notes, here in Theater Rhythm, and kind of like the better you do or the worse you do, like your opponent throws like garbage and trash and other things that's kind of get in your way. Like right now, this chocobo's running across the screen. There'll also be some big fat chocobos that come on and just like make it so you can't see what's coming up next.
Nice.
And
some of these Tetris style.
Yeah.
throw garbage at your friend's screen.
Yeah, so it does make it more challenging, and it's really hectic because we were playing on like the second highest difficulty, the second from the bottom. There are 4 difficulty levels, but stuff can get kind of fast and kind of
You played it on easy. Yep.
Yeah.
Got it.
But no, when you have like all sorts of crap just like coming at you and getting in your way, it just makes it a lot more hectic and fun. Honestly, I wasn't even planning on playing too much of online with this, but I was really glad that Balls was like, "Hey man, let's do this," and we did. And he kicked my ass. I think I won like the first match, but then he kicked my ass every other time. So that's how it goes.
You played 99 matches.
Yeah, yeah, no,
Good job.
8, 9, 10 matches, something like that. But no, and yeah, like I said, I played the hell out of this game basically since launch. Total, I've put in I just checked today before starting the show, about 20 hours and 30 minutes. It just came out Thursday. It's pretty good for me.
Game of the year.
Yeah.
Right.
No, but I did talk about this, ad nauseum last week, and I'll just say this a little bit more here. It's like if you've been into Final Fantasy games or like Square Enix games over the years, this is something that will obviously kind of scratch that nostalgia itch for you, because it's just playing like basically the coolest songs from the series and stuff like that. So it's kind of like an easy way to get back into the game without sinking 50 hours, 60 hours into an RPG just to hear a track a couple of times or something. So
No, just sink 20 hours into a game.
yeah.
Brilliant.
But geez, there are so many songs, like 300, something like that. When it's all said and done, there's going to be like over 500 or something. So yeah.
So it's not only the mainline Final Fantasy games, it's the side branch games as well, I'm assuming.
Yeah, they have a lot of like side games and stuff like that. Games that were on mobile and stuff like that.
Gross.
Games that I probably would have never played, but then you hear some of the music and you're like, "Holy crap, that's amazing!" They have other series too. From
I want to
Square
play
Enix.
the iMode version of Final Fantasy 2 on my flip phone.
That's
Has
it.
it got that version?
Yes.
You know what
No.
Square game is sorely missing, unless you pleasantly surprise me immediately? Rad Racer.
Oh yeah, that's not on there. It's only
Damn.
RPG stuff. Yeah.
Weird.
That game has some banger songs in it.
Yeah.
In a Final Fantasy game, they don't have a racing game music. Weird.
Weird, yeah.
Yeah.
But you know who did the music for that game?
That's something that Sakurai would put in, as like a remix in Smash or something like that, right? But
Hell yeah, brother.
Yeah.
Ball sending up in the comments. He's like, "Yeah, Theater Rhythm is so good," and yeah, it's a fantastic game. And James, they also have more than just Final Fantasy stuff. They're like for their DLC.
Mm-hmm.
There's also basically like any Square Enix series that have basically come out semi recently have been on there. Like Saga series, Live Alive is going to be.
I've
on
only
there.
played like one Square Enix RPG, and that's Secret of Mana.
Yeah, I don't think that's on there. I mean, they haven't announced all of the DLC.
No dice.
But yeah. But anyways, yeah, I'm working on like a review for that. Of course, by the time I get done with it, everybody's reviews have already been out and stuff like that. But if you're interested in for my thoughts about it, that'll be up sometime within the next week, probably. So look forward to that.
Do you know why Secret of Mana is the only Square Enix RPG I played?
It's the only one released. Yeah. Over there.
That's right.
Yeah. Need more freedom,
Oh.
James.
Transient image in the chat. Famicast, Fami best.
There it
Much
is.
appreciated. I'm assuming he's talking directly to me. Thank you.
Right.
And Ty's strong zero game is indeed strong.
You notice it's double orange. I saw it. I had to get it.
Nice.
You are strong drinker, Tai-san.
Not as good as the Mikan they had during winter, but it's still pretty good.
Nectar of the Gods for weebs and
yeah, it's the drink of choice of the fighting game community.
Yeah. Well, one other game I have been playing that is something that was actually announced during the Nintendo Direct, and that is Metroid Prime Remastered.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I haven't got obviously I was playing a lot more Theater Rhythm than this, but I did play for maybe about an hour or something like that. I have a little bit of footage here to share as well. I'm throwing up right now if you're watching the video version. But yeah, I mean, this game and like, you know, the Metroid Prime trilogy, this has been rumored to be coming to the Switch for years, and finally they did it. They brought it out. And at kind of like a budget price here too. It released basically right after the direct was over, which was nice. Here in Japan, it retailed for like 4,300 yen, which is a good 2,000 yen or $20 under like regular retail price for games. Physical version is coming out here and like in everywhere else except North America on March 3rd. Coming out in America today, I think, in North America on February 22nd. So,
physical one.
Yeah, physical.
Yeah.
So
let's get physical.
Yeah.
Surprising you didn't go for that one, Danny.
No, I'm probably going to get that too.
Of course you are. You're a maniac.
Yes. Yeah. But yeah, so, you know, there's a lot of improvements, obviously, you know, visually and stuff like that. They kind of cleaned up the game a bit. Runs 60 frames a second. Looks fantastic, 1080p. They also have a couple of other little things on there that I don't even really think they talked about too much in the direct or not. But, you know, with the European release and the Japanese release, they added narration to the game, which was not in the North American version. And to different like levels of narration too. Like the European version was a little bit more limited, whereas like the Japan version was like kind of like fully narrated with like voice. But North America, no, not at all. And you can choose those in the audio options on this game too, if you really want to.
Can I get narration with a powerful lisp?
I think that's coming as extra DLC. So
it's because the US version was first, right?
Probably.
So, well, it's a kind of continuation of the RPG story. Is that by the time the GameCube came around to Europe, I was done with Nintendo of Europe. I was absolutely fucking done with them. It's like, you've burned me too many times. So I had an American GameCube. So I played, because I got Metroid Prime earlier than Europe, but then I didn't get the narration. So ironically, my friends got it much later, but they had the narration. So I thought that was kind of always interesting.
Yeah.
But, I've never owned the European version. Yeah,
I didn't even remember where I first read that, but it was like semi-recently, or if I knew about it back in the day, it's just something that just totally slipped my mind until like a couple of years ago. So it was just kind of weird. And then just seeing it again in the options here too, it's kind of like, oh yeah, that was a thing. I kind of wonder why, but yeah.
Just more time, isn't it? They fix it up, add bits that they wanted to, that they couldn't get in time for launch for the US.
Sure. Because wasn't this game like developed and released in like 9 months or something crazy like that? I remember reading something about that. Now, I mean, Ty, I know that at the time of this game's release, you were, working for Planet GameCube and, covering Nintendo stuff. And I think I already know the answer to this, but I'm just going to ask you anyways. But are you a fan of this game, or is this one of the things that you just kind of hate?
It's a complicated answer. I thought it was fun as hell until the part where I had to backtrack, and then it was the worst game ever.
I don't remember that being a problem. What is that again? What did you have to do?
Okay, so in Metroid Prime 1, after you kill the bosses and stuff, like you have to get into a final area or something apparently, and you need like 12 fucking Baphodads or something to open it up. Does this sound familiar?
Yeah, actually, I was just reading about this right around, like somebody was talking about it in an article I was reading, and they said like, yeah, and I think maybe one of the introductory areas of the game, there are these pillars that if you scan, they'll basically mark it like on your map or whatever, so that you don't have to worry about going back and like looking for this stuff. You can get them along the way, but like the game doesn't tell you that.
Right.
So I mean, it's just one of those things that you would have randomly had to do. I don't remember being too mad about it, but it probably something that happened to me.
I think for me, I think it was you had to read the lore, right? Like if you read the lore, then they would highlight certain words in the text, and they would be like, maybe you should go to the core reactor or something like that, and core would be highlighted in dark yellow, and then you would look on the map for a name that matched that.
All right. Well, let me tell you something. In a game where I shoot things to death, I don't want to read words. This is going to come up later when we get to my new business. But
Ty, this is a first-person adventure, okay? It's a brand new genre. Hasn't been made since either.
No, dog.
So Danny, I remember at the time, people were complaining it was like doesn't have dual analog controls, and then of course those people were wrong, but now ironically they have added in dual analog controls to this version, right?
I mean, I thought the controls were fine. I thought everything about the game was fun, except the backtracking. Then I just lost interest immediately.
Sure, but no, and like James said, they did add proper dual analog support here, and they still have the lock-on mechanics, so you can like lock onto enemies with the left trigger and stuff like that. So that's still there to kind of make things a little bit easier if you don't want to do that. I could have swore that I saw that they had maybe included some kind of gyro controls. I'm kind of talking out of my ass here, but I didn't try that. I just want to play with traditional control style, so I don't really care about that type of stuff personally. But
does Super Metroid not have backtracking?
No, I'm pretty sure it did.
I'm pretty. When you say Metroid, it to me immediately infers like it involves some kind of backtracking. You need to go and find an object that you couldn't get previously because you didn't have the right suit power or whatever. But now you do, so you have to go back to the room that killed you immediately last time. But now you can, go.
Yeah, but Metroid Prime wasn't like that. It was like just go and get the thing. There are like no obstacles in your way. You just have to go a really long way.
Yeah, and like I said, what they initially wanted you to do, I think, is to had scanned something at some point early on in the game, and then you'd be good to go. But I mean, it's just not going to work that way.
Yeah, it's true. Like a transient image here in the chat. Like he says, every Metroid has backtracking. LOL. Yeah, that's true. But I felt that Prime's was like uniquely bad and terminally unfun.
You're uniquely bad and terminally unfun.
That's right.
I remember getting every scan in this game, and I think there is a couple where you have one chance. It's like the ice bat that comes to mind. I don't. That rings a bell for someone.
Yeah.
So I couldn't 100% it the first time I went through it, but I went back and replayed the whole game again and got 100%.
Yeah.
I don't know if this before the internet. Well, I wasn't using the internet as a guide at this point, so it is doable without internet, without guides.
Yeah. Anyways, with what little bit I've played so far of this remaster, I mean, it's super smooth. It's super good. It still feels great.
Looks great.
I mean, it's Metroid Prime, baby, and it's in HD and it's on your Switch. So if it's something that you want back to, I recommend it. It's still fun. If you're like Ty and you don't want to do backtracking or something like that, look to see what you got to do beforehand, I guess. But
the guys who do the technical analysis of games, I always forget their name. Anyway, those guys, the guys who measure frames and it had one frame drop at this one scene, so they did an analysis of this game, and it is like they said, it's pretty much 60 frames locked, and it's, if not probably the best looking game on Switch, which is kind of amazing this long into its life. It's like, what, 6 years now?
I mean, you still do notice it's like, okay, that is a really cleaned up, good looking GameCube game. I mean, you notice that with like some of the textures are just like environments and stuff like that. Yeah, thank you, Transient Image. Digital Foundry, James.
Digital Foundry, yeah.
It's on the tip of my tongue.
Great side by side as well, where you can see they've added so much more geometry to it, and I think all the best remakes, when you're playing through them, you always think, oh yeah, this is how the game used to look. But then when you actually go back to the original, you're like, holy shit, no, it looks nothing like that. It looks way better. But those are the best remakes, right? Where it just invokes the feeling that you had back in 2000.
If it was 100% authentic, it'd be like 4:3 and 480p.
Yeah, exactly. Right? Exactly.
So,
I'm good with that to an extent, but I mean, I just played on the old system if I want to do that.
Apparently one of the Halo remasters or something kind of did a similar thing. So, and they put it on par with that. They said, it's
Master Chief Collection probably.
Yeah, like it's on par with that level of improvement, but also being very, very authentic and sticking to
because
the
it was ported by
Retro.
those guys.
well, Retro in collaboration with like a ton of other studios.
Mhm.
Crap, that is a company that Ty. I was looking at an article about this last night. It's like, oh, I'll just remember like one or two guys.
Killer
just
Instinct people.
Yeah,
Well,
Iron
no.
Galaxy.
Yeah, Iron
That's the
Galaxy was part of it. Then there's like 6 or 7 other teams that got like credit in the credits, all
Uh-huh.
except for the original development.
I was gonna say,
Just
Reference
sounds like a
based.
joke.
yeah.
Everyone got credits
Wow,
except the
the
people
new
that
one-
deserve
new
credit.
guys.
Everyone's here. Da, 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 da,
Yeah.
da, da.
Good job on
Yep.
that for telling, letting all the new guys get the credit for where it's due. But yeah, maybe include the old guys and stuff in there too. But yeah,
There's just like one title card at the end that just says "and some other guys." I don't know.
Yeah. I think it does like say something like that, and the
Yeah.
the original studio, in the original development team. It's like, okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's it for me. But before we move on to JC, I just want to give a shout out to people in the chat. Metal Mike's hanging
What
out
up?
there as well. JCat popped in. See Hussin 91's in the house too. What's up, guys? Thanks for
Friends
dropping
of the
by.
shows.
Yeah. And JC, how about you go ahead and continue on the old new business? Again, the old new business.
Stop that. Yes, so we're going to talk about the direct, the Famicast direct in news, but I kind of have to talk a little bit about it because that is part of my new business, and that is the Game Boy Online. So yeah, off requested. I mean, it was often predicted by me and requested by me, and for the longest time, it had been rumored, right? Because like I mean, I can't remember something else. Didn't Mega Drive come out before Game Boy, even though Game Boy was rumored before Mega Drive? It was like something ridiculous like that.
Well, I mean, yeah, obviously it came out before Game Boy. Game Boy just came out, 2 weeks ago. But what?
Yeah. But what I mean is like there was a leak. A guy leaked. He said he found like 4 different emulation software in the Switch, like firmware.
Okay.
And they had code names for all of them, right? So he said that, oh, this one was Super Nintendo, this one is NES, so this one is probably Game Boy, and this one is probably N64, and then fucking Mega Drive comes out. It's like, oh yeah, good job, guy.
Yeah.
So he was way off with that one, but
yes,
it was eventually here. So yeah, we got Game Boy, Game Boy Color, and Game Boy Advance. But I'm a Game Boy guy. I grew up with a Game Boy. I didn't grow up with the NES. So Game Boy is a big deal for me. I mean, there's something very charming and something that I like about the visuals and the music of Game Boy. It hit me in the feels. I loves it. Oh yeah, watching a little video that I captured. Like, first of all, holy shit, how many retro consoles we have on Switch now? It's ridiculous. Right. So yeah, this is the Japanese selection. There's a slight difference with them, right? The one game.
Yeah,
right?
Alone in the Dark is in the West, and then they put this game called Yakuman. In Japan, it's Nintendo developed Mahjong.
Yes.
Wonder why that didn't come over.
And the filters, I don't know if you can call it filter, Game Boy Light and Game Boy Color. It's Game Boy Color is, it's the one. If a game has color encoded for it, it will do that. If not, I guess it's just random color or just something like best fit or something. I'm assuming Nintendo have actually selected the best colors for each game. But you can actually turn on like the blurring effect of the original Game Boy if you want.
Wow, gross! I think I might do it just for kicks.
Yeah, so you can put like original Game Boy Color on, and then the turn off the pixel, what do you call it? The pixel perfect clarity version. You can turn that off. Okay. So like the ghosting and the blurring and the green, you can have that if you want to. But I've been playing on just Game Boy Color because it looks great, and you can play it full screen. You can actually shrink it down and have it like pixel perfect, so you can have like a little square in the middle of the screen. Which
nice. Is lean in real close to the TV.
Yeah, I guess it would make more sense to play that in portable mode.
It's still
But finally we can play Game Boy games portably.
Finally, what a world!
Laughter track. yeah. Of all the, the not virtual console. What do you call these things? The Nintendo Switch
Nintendo
Online.
Switch Online.
Yeah. Of all of them, this one obviously makes the most sense, right?
Right.
Because these are portable games. So yeah, it doesn't have Super Mario Land 1, but it does have Mario Land 2. I like both, and I'm a sucker for the first one. I mean, probably because I can clear it in like 30 minutes or something, but it's just everything, the music and everything, it's just like, that was the first game that I bought.
Nice.
It's like, it's very nostalgic for me. Like I said, Game Boy kid, not an NES kid. I wasn't the Mario Brothers 3 hype guy. I was the Mario Land 2 hype guy. And I stopped before Wario Land. I bet it's called Mario Land 3 : Wario Land, right? Yeah, and that's not on this either. They've got Wario Land 3.
Yeah, that's weird because Wario Land is such a banger. I would be on there playing it like right now if it was on there.
They might have
just not show up to the show, just play Wario Land.
They might have wanted to highlight some more Game Boy Color stuff too, because it seems like there's like 3 of each. There's like 3 actual games made for Game Boy Color. Then there are 3 that are original stuff that have some enhancements, as you can see with the footage right now of Mario Land 2.
Yeah, that looks like a Game Boy Color version.
Yeah, but it's not. It's just the enhancements that I think they made. Some of them could be enhanced on Super Game Boy, and I bet that it's put the same stuff in, to the Game Boy Color.
Right. Like, did you ever play like OG Game Boy games on Game Boy Color?
Yeah.
So like, it would have like the backgrounds and stuff be one set of colors, but like the active sprites be another set of colors, and like the actual Game Boy firmware had like presets for certain popular games.
Okay.
Yeah, so like by default, it was kind of like blue-green for background, and then like red for sprites, kind of like you just saw on Mario Land, I think.
Yeah.
But like if it's Kirby, it'll be a different color. It might even like change by place. I don't remember if that was a thing or not.
Because
it wasn't.
This is quote unquote Game Boy Color. This is exactly what this is.
I remember on Super Game Boy there were kind of like combinations you could do with like the D-pad or the triggers and stuff, where you could actually change the palette, right?
Yeah, you could make your own custom palette.
Yeah.
And there were like dozens of presets you could use as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, Kirby is pink on the if you play, even though it wasn't originally, right?
Right.
If you're playing the Game Boy Color version.
There's so many bigger Game Boy games that are not on here, and I just know they're gonna like drip feed them to us. Like,
we'll get another
slow.
one. We'll get another one in 2024. Don't worry about that.
Jesus, like give me Wario Land, give me DK94. So good.
Not announced yet.
Well, I think the collection they have is it's somewhere I don't really know why they added them. Like, for example, Alone in the Dark. But like this one, for example, I never would have played the Makaimura. What's it called? But not the.
Shit! I just had a massive nostalgia trip. This was the first game I emulated on the family computer in 1996.
on Windows, but that's what
like MS DOS, baby.
Okay.
Like I had a computer, it had like DOS, and then like you could go into Windows 3.1, and I got an emulator for that shit.
Yeah, it's really hard. This one, the Gargoyle, was it Gargoyle's Quest? No,
sounds right.
So, yeah,
or Demon's Quest, Demon's Quest.
I'm playing the
Japanese.
The Japanese version here, so it's
Makaimura
Gaiden.
Something I forgot.
Although it's Gaiden, wasn't it?
Is it some? Yeah, I don't know, man.
So glad I can emulate this on my Switch in 2023 as well as
right.
Yes.
MS DOS shitbox in fucking 96.
Right. James, just to go back to Mario Land really quick, like I'm really surprised that my family, we got a Game Boy pretty early on, like in the early 90s or whatever, but we had Tetris and like some other weird games, wrestling games and stuff like that. But like for whatever reason, my parents never bought any of me or my brothers Mario Land. That's insane. We loved Mario. I would have loved those 2 games back in the day.
Yeah, Wario Land. I mean, Wario Land 1 is barely recognizable as a Mario game. It's like, I mean, if it was released today, it would be like, like a student-made version of Mario where he didn't get the license to have the, real Mario. Barely looks like Mario, but it's so fun. It's like, I think the actual jumping and because it's like the sprites are smaller. But with Mario Land 2, they went huge. Like everything was big, right? And because of that, there was a lot of flickering and a lot of slowdown. But with the first one, it was just pure. It was just pure, like it was made for Game Boy.
Right.
With Mario Land 2 and also like Link's Awakening, it felt like, okay, you couldn't afford a SNES, so we'll give you Mario World Lite, and we'll give you Link to the Past Lite, right?
Essentially black and white NES games,
Yeah, basically, yeah. But Mario Land 1 is pretty much made for Game Boy, and I like that kind of thing. I like just having the pure Game Boy, not trying to push it to beyond what it can actually do, like this we're looking at Wario Land 3 now, and this is like, I'm assuming it must be a full-on Game Boy Color game because there's a lot of colors going on here, which looks a lot more than there's just the colorized Game Boy games, right?
No, it's a Game Boy Color one.
I was never a fan of Wario Land games. It just, because I don't know, it's almost sold as like the sequel to Mario Land, but it's just totally not. It's like you shoulder barging people and stuff like that.
Right. Oh,
I think it slaps.
You played Yakuman.
Oh yeah, I had to see what it was, right? I had to play the Japanese exclusive. Yeah, I have no idea how to play Mahjong.
This is giving me a fucking headache.
How do you even make a Mahjong game on Game Boy? It doesn't make any sense.
Very carefully, apparently.
Yeah. Well, Transient Image said that he said, "Hey, I'm determined to teach myself how to play Yakuman because I want to get the Nintendo DS Yakuman." The goals. There you go, man.
Good luck to you, mate.
This is a man who has his priorities straight.
Exactly.
Game Boy Gallery is kind of interesting. They've like very much micro games.
Yeah, like, it's Game and Watch.
Yeah, they've obviously improved it since then, but the basic, the fundamental gameplay is a Game and Watch game.
Right.
But they look, very nice using like modern Donkey Kong, modern Yoshi, Mario sprites.
Yeah.
But this is weird because you often like, it's, like you said, like a Game and Watch games or like a pinball game. Like when you play a pinball game, like the D-pad is one button and then A and B are another button. So you just like either mash the D-pad or mash one of the buttons, and it does only one of two commands. It's kind of like that. So like, for example, this Mario and Luigi game, like, the D-pad controls Luigi and then the buttons control Mario. All you can do is do up and down.
Okay.
That reminds me, I heard recently that like emulation for like the old Tiger LCD games is coming into style.
Really?
Yeah.
Sorry,
there's a couple of those bangers I'd like to play again.
There's a baseball one we had back in the day, Turtles one.
The Turtles one was sick.
It was fun. The baseball ones are usually, actually, you know what? Those are actually pretty fun too.
Did you have the fucking Bo Jackson one where it was like both football and baseball, and you like flipped it upside down to change it?
We weren't that cool, man.
Damn, like that is the holy grail for me.
Yeah.
Nice. It's weird playing Link's Awakening. They've got Link's Awakening DX, the Game Boy Color, well, whatever, enhanced version. And it's really weird. It's weird. I never played this, but like Link's Awakening, the remaster on Switch, which is beautiful and amazing. When did that come out? Like 2 years ago?
2019.
2019. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Like that only came 2 years after the Switch launch. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So that's 3 years ago. Okay, more than 3 years ago.
Yeah.
So it's very fresh in my mind. So I don't think I'll play through Link's Awakening, but it's the colored version, and they have the colored dungeon. But again, that is in the remake on Switch. So like I played that in a much more beautiful version. But
Sure.
I do like this game though. It's one of my favorites, and I did have the original, not the DX version.
Yeah, I have my original. It's just out of reach. The original box, at least, in here. Actually, where did
Jesus,
it
I
go?
can't believe you got busted shoplifting.
Oh, I did that. I did that on purpose. Of course, you got to do it, right?
Oh,
Well,
actually, I have my.
Actually, Ty, you missed the bucket mouse. I did the bucket mouse for you as well.
Yes,
Oh.
it's the bucket mouse.
Yeah, because I wanted to see what it said in Japanese, and it does say bucket the mouse, literally
Right.
katakana. So they probably just translated that directly.
Nice.
Right?
Wow, they made Metroid actually look pretty
Yeah,
amazing.
Yeah, I think this is way better than what I thought. It got a lot of shit talk on RFN because they played this on one of their retroactive things where they replay old games. Like all of them replay the old game at the same time,
Right.
and then they compare notes. And a lot of the guys shit on it. I know Guillaume is a Game Boy guy like me, but generally negative towards it. So I was really expecting the worst. I've never played Metroid 2. It was just at the time of owning a Game Boy, the character of Samus and the game series of Metroid wasn't in my wheelhouse. I didn't really know what it was.
Yeah.
It was only till I got an SNES that I knew what, I got Super Metroid. I was starting reading magazines and, I played Super Metroid and loved it. But by then I didn't really want to go back and play Metroid 2 because it looks so terrible.
Right.
And I probably sold my Game Boy by then anyway.
Yeah.
So playing it now, I was really impressed. Because with Metroid, I'm not a fan of Metroid on the NES. It's like the amount of flickering and slowdown and just like general jank in that game. It's just not fun.
It's a slow game. It did not stand up well to the test of time. I don't think it did not age well.
Yeah, so I would say that Metroid 2 gave a better first impression than fucking Metroid 1 on the NES. Like playing it on the TV is obviously the ideal way to play it, right? Because you're playing it in color and you're playing it full screen and you're playing it with a proper controller. So this is the ideal way to play it. But the way when I was shooting the weapon, it was very, very fast. And there was no flickering or slowdown, which is something I would expect because Samus's sprite is so big.
Yeah.
And obviously you do have the problem where you can't see enemies off the screen until you literally on top of them.
Right.
But it wasn't a problem. It really wasn't. I thought the shooting was really, really fast. And like I said, there was no slowdown, no noticeable slowdown. So I was like, shit, yeah, I could get into this. I might try and play. I killed the first Metroid in just a few minutes. It was kind of fun. I was like, yeah, I could get into this. I'm gonna give it a shot. And it looks nice. The colorized version that they put on there is really nice.
Yeah.
Samus actually looks like Samus. She has the right colors.
Right. I first played Metroid 2 on 3DS Virtual Console probably about 10 years ago. And yeah,
First
I think when
NES one?
No, what's that?
NES? Game Boy?
No. Game Boy.
Game Boy, okay.
3DS. And I kind of had negative feelings about it too, probably because, playing it, unless I'm just totally forgot that I don't think they have Game Boy Color filters on 3DS. So you're only playing on black and white or green and whatever.
Yeah.
So, it's fine. But I think the color stuff really does change it up quite a bit, makes it look a lot more modern.
I like how you could crouch shoot as well. I don't think that was in NES Metroid, was it?
It was not.
Yeah, you can crouch shoot and you can go into the morph ball immediately, from the get-go.
Yeah. With Samus's sprite just being bigger, there's probably just more stuff that they could do, So that's probably what kind of led to those kind of enhancements, I bet.
I do remember the pea shooter that you get in the first Metroid game in NES. It's it goes 1 centimeter in front of you. But this one was going the full width of the screen. I was very, 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 very impressed. Obviously, it came later,
Right.
But it's on much inferior hardware. So
yeah.
Game Boy, good shit.
I just pulled a game off of my shelf. My original box for Link's Awakening, which I got in 1990.
Oh, American one, yeah.
Yeah, American one, which I got in 1998 for Christmas that year. because my parents, they knew how I really started to like Zelda. Like I talked a lot about Link to the Past because I borrowed it from a friend, and then Ocarina of Time was coming out at the same time, so I got Ocarina of Time, and I think I got this too. Not the color version though, but I mean, whatever. But
it's a good game.
Yeah.
Great game. So yeah, Metroid. Metroid 2, Mario Land 2, and Link's Awakening. Obviously, they're the games to play first.
Yakuza,
if you're wondering,
fourth.
Yep. And I didn't really play any Game Boy. I'm not a Game Boy Advance guy. Like, because Game Boy Advance, like, I was already in like high school, college by that point.
College. I was in college. So yeah.
Like, I did like Mario Kart Advance, for example. I thought it was like a good sequel to Super Mario Kart. But like, I don't think there are many good Game Boy Advance games that are made for the Game Boy Advance. Like, there's a lot of remakes and a lot of shrunk down Super Nintendo games that are like not as good.
James, that's where you're wrong.
I mean,
let me tell you about some good ass games that are on Game Boy Advance.
Let me tell you, I don't play Castlevania games. I don't care about that. But Advance
That's
was
dumb, but okay.
Advance is my game. The only Game Boy Advance game I like.
That's a good one. Don't forget about WarioWare.
Mm-hmm.
That was a banger.
Which is on
Astro Boy.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe kind of an unknown. Published by Sega. I think it was developed by Treasure or somebody. But that
Something
game is sick. Like, I played it so much.
I never played it, but I just knew about it from reputation on the
like it's probably not on anybody's radar, but that game is so good.
Oh, Golden Sun, Transient Image, Golden Sun. Yeah, I played Golden Sun on emulation many years later, and I quite enjoyed it. Yeah.
What else? Double Dragon Advance is like another game that probably went under a lot of people's radar, but that game is like sick. It's so fucking good. Like, it's one of those games that was just kind of permanently like in my DS and GBA slot. Like when I moved up to DS.
Yeah. And of course, the classic that everybody played, Jet Grind Radio on the Game Boy Advance.
Weird. I remember playing Dave Mira BMX on GBA, and it had like full vocal audio songs, including like click, click, boom, and I could not fucking stop laughing at it.
But yeah, that is my general image of Game Boy Advance, is like, horrifically bad ports and licensed games and like shrunk down games of full console games which don't work and are not fun on Game Boy Advance.
Okay, well, I guess that's in your impression, but I think you were simply playing the wrong games.
True.
But, yeah, don't forget, that era is when I was like most active on Planet GameCube and doing stuff. Like, I was getting review copies in the mail. I was going so many GBA games.
I'm not going to play 50 squids to find out if a game is, any good.
Going to every E3 and playing all the fucking games. Yeah.
I think, James, at the time, were you like on message boards and stuff like that for games, or?
Okay. Not really. I mean, I was still reading magazines at the time. I think for me, Game Boy Advance got a lot more interesting when emulation came around, because then I could just try games out without fucking buying them.
I mean, I think because like Ty was, with Planet GameCube and stuff, I was over on the IGN message boards, just talking away. Don't hate. No, but I mean, all sorts of cool games were coming out. I couldn't afford everything. I was just a college kid. I had a part-time job, so I was buying a surprising amount of GameCube and Game Boy Advance games, though. But there's a limit for working 20 hours a week back in like 2001. So
it was a weird time. I mean, I think I was playing Game Boy games on my Game Boy Advance more, like, because it was a good Game Boy player. Because I didn't have a backlit screen, but
the screen didn't look like total shit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and then Game Boy Advance SP was just like absolute chef's kiss, amazing improvement from the original.
Oh yeah,
right?
brother.
Yep. So, oh yeah, Minish Cap. I played Minish Cap like decades later.
That was like season or 2017, right before Breath of the Wild came out. Because I remember you talked about it.
Yeah.
Because we were hyping it up. I played like Ocarina of Time on 3DS and I beat it. And you played Minish Cap. We talked about them like the same episode or something.
Yeah. And that's pretty much my my relationship with Game Boy Advance. It's like playing things way later because games were too expensive for how bad they may end up being. Right, have to be very careful with purchases.
Man, with Minish Cap, I found like a not for resale version or something for sale at a game shop back in the day. Picked it up.
You immediately arrested.
Yeah, what did Ty got here? Advance Wars.
I got my bag of Game Boy games, like my choice ones, and like Astro Boy was right on top. Let's see, I got Contra Advance right here. Good shit. Well, Killer Instinct. I have a lot of meme games in here. I got Kid Dracula.
Killer Instinct. I didn't know they made Killer Instinct for Game Boy Advance.
They did. It only had 8 characters, but yeah, it's cute.
The Super Nintendo one, I'm assuming.
It is nowhere near parody with the Super Nintendo. Like it has like cut characters. The Game Boy is 2 fucking buttons.
Game Boy Advance.
Or no, just Game Boy.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I had the Game Boy. I had the Game Boy version. You said Game Boy Advance. That totally threw me.
Okay.
I was like, what?
I at this point, they're kind of the same platform. How about RoboCop? It's got that infamous fucking song on it that was in those UK TV ads. You might remember that.
You're welcome. Yeah. Gaviscon, Anon, and Gaviscon.
Oh, Gradius Galaxies is one of the sickest GBA games. And that is actually GBA. I have it in here somewhere.
Okay, good. Yeah, be careful with your GBs there, boy.
Let's see. And of course, I do have all the Castlevanias. You're missing out. What else I got?
Advanced
Wars. Here it is. Gradius Galaxies. This is one of the best GBA games.
No boxes. I'm sickened. Gross.
They're all in the US. Oh, okay. Doom 2. This is actually really good. It adds spatialized sound and everything.
Damn.
Hamtaro Ham games. Let's go. Ooh, Gunstar Heroes. Another sick game. This is pretty good.
Isn't that a Super Nintendo game?
No. There was like an OG Gunstar Heroes on Genesis or Mega Drive.
Oh,
weirdo. Yeah. This is like a new game. X-Men Reign of Apocalypse. This is a pretty good soundtrack. It sounded like Michael Jackson knockoffs. Let's see. Yeah. River City Ransom. Let's go.
I do know exactly what you're saying though, man. Like it obviously early on, like there were just a lot of like Super Nintendo ports, especially from Nintendo. I mean, third parties. I mean, yeah, some places were porting out stuff, but some places were actually making some really new, cool stuff. There's like first-person shooters and stuff like that on the Game Boy Advance. Ty just showed Doom 2. It was cool just to have that kind of level of stuff just available, even if like I said, I couldn't afford all this stuff, but I wasn't working on a website or anything like that to get review copies at the time too. So
yeah, I guess at the time it was kind of cool to have a portable Super Nintendo, right? It's kind of like how now we play games like Doom 2016 Doom. Playing that on the Switch is like, holy shit, how is this possible?
Yeah.
That similar vibe was like that for the Game Boy Advance. It's like, wow, you can play Super Nintendo this big.
The classic NES series. I got Zelda 2.
Dude, I have that right over. Oh my god.
I got Castlevania.
Nice.
That's great because these are actually like really, really authentic ports because you can't just save scum your way through them.
I think Ty's just opened up a whole can of worms and actually proving my point even more. Yeah, the fucking dumping a ROM on a cartridge and charging $40 for it started with Game Boy Advance. Holy shit.
Yeah, true.
Disgusting.
I don't see the problem with that. I've now one of these from the.
I know you guys don't. Like I didn't pay anywhere near full price for those. I got them for like $5.
Yeah, I really like the NES stuff. I thought it was cool because like. You can only play them on the NES, and you can play them on Game Boy Advance.
Here's a meme game for you. Here's Initial D.
Oh, nice.
I think it's basically a turn-based RPG. It's fucked up.
Yeah, Mario World, one of my favorite games ever. You play the Game Boy Advance version of that. The music is so fucked up and bad. It's like it hurts my ears because like. Game Boy Advance doesn't have the amazing sound processor that the Super Nintendo had, and it's just weird. Like it's missing beats in the music, and it's just so wrong it hurts my brain.
Weird.
You know, like Vanilla Dome, it's got that classic, you know, funky beat, right? Didn't, 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 didn't. Game Boy Advance is like didn't. It's like you're missing literal instruments. It's wrong. It's wrong. Stop it. Anyway, so yeah, that's my new business. Game Boy Advance. Not so much.
Yeah.
Ty, you been playing Game Boy Advance games?
Not recently. No, I haven't turned my Switch on at all. But I have been playing Trigger Witch.
What do you call me?
What'd you call it? Wow, triggered?
Triggered much?
Wow, triggered much? Yes, I'm playing Trigger Witch. Damn. Okay, so this is like an indie-ish game. It was actually published by East Asia Soft. Shout out to Joshua French.
Friends of the show.
Yeah, but awful ending. Don't spoil it. I've like only just started. But okay, so let me tell you guys about my first encounter with this game. It was at TGS in the indie game area. You guys may have seen it at the time. So anyway, I was just playing it. Like, cool, twin stick shooter. It looks cute, but holy shit, it's also really fucking bloody. And so anyway, I was playing through like the opening area of the game, and I somehow fucking crashed the game while I was playing it.
Oh, okay. I remember this story.
Yeah, and I gave you a t-shirt.
Yeah, I don't know if I ever told it like on the show, but like I was playing it
upwards of 6 times. You've told us that story on the show.
Really?
Maybe you didn't specifically say the game, but you said like that time I crashed a game on the TGS show floor.
Yeah,
they gave you a t-shirt or something, right?
Yeah, they gave me a CD actually.
That's nice. Yeah, same thing.
I thought it was really funny. Like, you know, a couple of Western guys, probably American, I don't know, and they're like, they were like super apologetic, and I'm like, dude, like I know how video game development works, right? I'm prepared to fill out the bug report right now. And they're like, wow, you win a CD, you crashed the game, and I'm like, come on, dude, this isn't a PR nightmare. this is normal demo shit. So anyway,
I will buy your game in 6 years' time.
Escalate to the manager.
Yes, yeah, that's what I thought. It's like, I'm gonna buy this game. Don't worry about it. And I'll talk it up on the podcast. And here I am 6 years later after it went on sale on Xbox.
Oh, you actually bought it? Damn.
Yeah, I bought it. I paid money for this.
Yeah, this is out on Switch too. This is out. It came out like last year, I think.
Yeah, hence why I'm talking about.
Okay. Xbox owner buys video game. Headlines. Newsflash.
I buy a lot of video games. Like Xbox has pretty sick sales. Like I impulse buy a lot of stuff. So I would say they're like definitely on par with Steam sales. Like I bought a bunch of other fucking games too.
Right.
But I may not talk about them since they're not on Switch. Or maybe I will.
So what's the
that's the threat.
Ty, you said something very negative about this. There's inferring that anyway.
Not very negative, but like okay, so you know, this game, it's a funny game where you shoot cute animals and they explode into bloody messes. It's great. There's a starting tutorial area, and it has too many words.
Get rid of the words.
Yeah, and like as you guys may have gathered over the years, I fucking hate words. I hate text. I hate reading, especially in a game with guns. Like I'm just in there. I'm just thinking in my head. All right, kill, 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 and it's like, oh, you have to go through the witch ceremony to become the trigger witch and learn the way of the gun. Here are your childhood friends. Here's your mom. And I'm like, please. I'm just like hitting A. It's like not even the longest one, but man, I hate that stuff.
Yeah.
And okay, so you guys may have noticed it has a very link to the past visual vibe, especially when like you see like a lot of the areas they're like a pseudo 3D.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it almost looks like the same kind of environments a little bit. And like when you listen to the game too, it has some of the same little musical flourishes. Oh yeah, Transient Image says Trigger Witch is one of those games that gets easier as you progress. I died so many times on the first boss. LOL. Yeah. I haven't actually died yet. But yeah, I guess I just went through the first dungeon. It kind of seems like it might be going like I haven't played that far yet, but it seems like it might be very Zelda flavored in terms of like just going from dungeon to dungeon.
Okay.
This is not roguelite in any way, is it, Ty?
No, not as far as I can tell. Okay. Very handcrafted.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And I am gonna complain about things, but I do like the game. It's fun. I love to shoot things. I like so far, like I've just played through the first dungeon. I have like you start with like a standard hand cannon, like the big old dirty hairy magnum that you use to shoot the cute animals with. And then you get like an AK and then like double Uzis. And I think there's some more stuff you'll get farther down the line, but I'm not that far yet.
Okay.
And so I did run into another issue in the first dungeon where, okay, generally your objectives are marked on a map. Kind of like quest kind of stuff, like you know, you need 3 Baphomet ads to give to this guy, and then you can go to the next area. And I'm like, okay, cool. Just point me in the direction, and I will shoot everything. And so it shows that, but I ended up wandering around the first dungeon for a really long time because I missed a chest with a key in it that was tucked somewhere in some corner, like just off screen. And like I did not see that shit at all. And I like combed over the first dungeon like 3 times. Like, where's my fucking key? And I finally found it. So it took me like 90 minutes to go through the first dungeon because I could not find a key.
No,
not because of the enemies or anything.
Yeah,
like
I get that sometimes. Yeah, like
the challenge is fair. It's fine.
Similar note, like back when I was playing Banjo-Kazooie, a month ago or whatever. Yeah, sometimes I would just be like, where in the hell is X, Y, and Z? I went through this stage inside and out. I don't understand this. And then I found a place where I somehow missed, and I'm like, oh my god,
that's truly like the 90s gaming experience. You wander all over a fucking map looking for the one key or the button or the thing you missed.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that happened to me in this game, and it was kind of nostalgic, but also really annoying. But other than that, I like the game. I like the murder. I like the blood and guts.
Yeah.
This is interesting, actually. Transient Image says he agrees it's very Link to the Past inspired, but he also thinks the art style reminds him more of Earthbound. And if you wind up liking this, you should definitely play Reverie. And I actually played Reverie, which is more of like an action, not RPG, but an action adventure, like Link to the Past.
Does it have guns?
No, it's based in New Zealand. I think it's developed by a New Zealand team, and it's based in New Zealand. And you walk around with a cricket bat.
That's not a real country.
It's not even a real country anyway.
You got to know what a crumpet is,
right?
Yeah, Reverie is a good shout. I like that.
All right, so that's what I've been playing. I picked up some other stuff on sales. You might hear from in the near future, but also there's a new fucking Dead by Daylight chapter coming out. So buckle up for more of that bullshit.
All right.
I'm not going to have a go at Ty of talking about the same game again because I may or may not be doing that this episode.
Right.
Splatoon? Never heard of it.
50 minutes of Splatoon coming at your ears.
All right. At least when I talk about Dead by Daylight, I'll go for like 90 fucking minutes.
Right. All right. Well, that is going to do it for new business. We're going to go ahead and go on to a little bit of now playing at Famicast.com. But before that, we're going to give you guys a peek at some of the other podcasts on the TokyoBeat podcast network, which we're proud members of. And I'm going to go ahead and hit that momentarily.
We're the Tokyo Fresh Podcast.
I'm David.
I'm Jordan.
We're a comedy lifestyle podcast diving into the weird and interesting side of Japan.
We often share stories about our lives in Japan, and how you can avoid making the same mistakes.
So if you want to take advice from two idiots who have been living here far too long, check out the Tokyo Fresh Podcast.
Only on the TokyoBeat Network.
Now playing at the Famicast.com. Lots of stuff going up on the website, lots of stuff going up on YouTube, Patreon, all that type of stuff. And we're here to tell you just a little bit about that before we dive in headfirst to a crap ton of news. One thing that I wanted to bring up specifically as part of the Nintendo Direct, actually, the gods have somehow graced us all with an English version of Power Pro Baseball. Sure, it's not licensed, but it's only $1, and I picked it up.
What?
Yeah, 100 yen, $1, probably like 79 squids or whatever the hell. I mean, really cheap.
Nice.
Good
I'd
baseball
buy that
game.
for $1.
I'd buy that for $1. Yeah. Yeah, you literally can buy it for $1. And if you're still not convinced, I have a review that you can check out. It goes pretty in depth on the game. It's basically online only type of stuff. Mainly you can play offline, but yeah, if you're interested at all in baseball and you think like, man, the Japanese barrier of entry on the Power Pros games that Danny's talked about for years now is just too much. Well, very low barrier of entry here in terms of price and also language. So there you go. Yeah, all this and more. All right. Holy crap, James, what are we doing now?
I don't really know. It could be the JAPANews. Is it?
That's right, folks. It's that time of the show. It's time to get into the JAPANews. We talk about the latest and greatest, and also sometimes hashtag old things going on in the world of Nintendo, Japan, gaming,
Deal with it.
weird things washing up on the shore of stuff in Japan that looks like a big giant iron ball. Did you guys see about that thing?
No.
Okay, it's weird. IGN picked
talking
up the
about,
story.
Danny?
It was on Japanese news, literal Japanese on Japanese TV. the other day. Like seriously, okay. Anyways, it's like okay, whatever. That doesn't matter.
Take your word for it, mate.
Yeah, that's the way to go.
So before we start the main, we're going to talk about the direct stuff, obviously, but there is this thing. I don't know if you guys knew this. Well, this has been the case since Splatoon 1. The NCL, Nintendo in Japan, as it's not called, is way ahead of everywhere else in terms of Splatoon news. Like they'll update, very, very quickly. Like they'll tell you, new weapons, new stage, new updates, boom, boom, boom. It's like within an hour, it's up on the official Splatoon Twitter account. And then if you're lucky, a few days / weeks / months later, Nintendo of America and Nintendo of Europe may or may not translate some of those tweets. So we really, it is like a trickle feed, starting with Japan and then, sometimes it's Europe, sometimes it's America. So there is a whole bunch of Splatoon news that's coming because we're on the verge of a new like update. Not only the big update that was announced in the Direct, the paid DLC, but also just like a regular free update, new catalog and stuff like that. So I combined the videos and everything from both Twitter accounts so we can look at all the news that's been announced. So yes, anyway, the expansion pass, which was announced in the Direct, the paid expansion pass, which yes, I did buy immediately because I'm a sucker.
Nothing wrong with that.
is coming out in 6 days. So the first wave is coming in 6 days, and that's the one where you can go back to Splatoon 1, the Inkopolis, which is kind of weird because you're actually not getting anything new. It's kind of bizarre. So it's just literally like a skin. You just literally changing the world, the shops and everything to the old skin.
Okay.
But the things that you buy in the stores are exactly the same. So,
again, this is the 28th too. If you're It's depending
20
on when you're watching or this or
Yes.
whatever.
Oh
20th
yeah,
February.
yeah. If you're not watching live, 28th of February, the last day of February. It's weird because like I like the idea of going back to Splatoon 1, but I actually do like Splatoon 3's like updates and the new city. Like they've got more expansive, they got bigger with each game. Like Splatoon 2 was much improved over Splatoon 1, and Splatoon 3 is much improved over Splatoon 2. So it's kind of weird for me to like want to go back to Splatoon 1. I don't. I might do it like once just to kind of Natsukashi, that takes me back. Cool, good times. Anyway, back to the original, back to the new one.
Right.
But it is what it is. It's not something that I'm kind of happy paying for. I'm more excited about the the new single player stuff.
This is just trying to add more value to it, I guess.
Yeah. So the new season, the new catalog, the fresh season will start on the 1st of March. So the next day, and that's for everybody. That's a free update. You get, again, you're starting from level 0. You got to work your way up to level 100. This is like the battle pass equivalent. And you've only got a few days to get to level 100, by the way.
J-Cat's on level 70. She's got to grind.
Yeah, get that grind on, girl. I've already got my level 100. I got all the gear, all the stuff. I'm done, ready and prepped for the fresh season. Thank you very much. So there's a whole bunch of stuff going to be added to the fresh catalog, including, very exciting, they're going to bring back some specials. Well, sorry, a special. They're going to bring back a special and introduce a brand new special. So the one that they're bringing back is called, in Japanese, Dai Oika, literally giant squid, which is the Kraken from the first game, which was probably most people's favorite, from the first one. Basically, you just like plow through everyone. You're completely invincible, and you just like kind of spin jump through people. But because in Splatoon 2 they introduced the Octolings, like you can play as an Octoling now. So they actually did an Octoling version, so you can now be a giant octopus. So there's a giant squid or a giant octopus. And they're calling it the Kraken Royale. And this is if you're watching the video version, it can now charge up. So you can spin like you could before. But if you hold down ZR, you can actually charge it up and boost through people.
Okay.
That's new, which is cool. They're adding the roller and deco. What is the hell did I just miss? I just ran through another one. Oh no, that's just a music thing. The other new special is called the Super Chump, which is a pun. Because super jump is the thing that you do when you jump to your teammates, right? So super chump is a decoy. So what it does, we'll show the video here. This is what it looks like. Basically, like you can fire off. I don't know how many it is. Maybe 6 or 8. How many is that? 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 decoys, and what it looks like is that your super jump position is always shown to the enemies. So they can, if you super jump somewhere dangerous, for example, if you super jump to your friend and then your friend dies and then you super jump where he was, the enemy will know that you're about to land there and just fucking immediately destroy you when you land. Okay, so it's a risk thing. It's a risky thing to super jump to a friend if you're not confident that he's going to be able to handle the crowd and not get shot. But with the super chump, you can actually send out these 6 decoys, so the enemy team doesn't know which one is the real super jump. So you can send out these decoys, and then not only that, but the decoys will actually explode and kill them. So I'm not sure how you can differentiate between the fake and the real one, but I'm assuming there is a way to do that. But it looks like a really good special. And as far as I know, this is the first time they've ever added specials as DLC. because the specials are usually set with the base game, and the whole game is balanced around that. And that was definitely true for Splatoon 1 and 2. So with Splatoon 3, they did introduce new specials, and they took out some specials as well. But this is the first time that they've added 2 new, well, the one returning one and the brand new one, the Super Jump one. So it's really exciting. And not only that, the Super Jump is going to be attached to a returning weapon, my favorite, the NZAP 89, the one that looks like the Japanese Zapper. And that's actually
North American.
If I just turn off my video for 1 second. Oh no, you can't see. Oh, it's the gray one on this one. Okay. My avatar is the NZAP. This one, the NZAP 89. So yeah, very cool. Cool to see it coming back, and cool that I'll get the new special attached to it as well. So yeah, new returning weapons. There's a whole more weapons as well. New Clash Blaster. And then this is the new gear, the new clothes that are going to be added for the fresh season. And there'll be new objects, guitars and stuff as well. So there will be 9 new clothes added in the fresh season. This is the free stuff, the free DLC. Yeah, and you'll be able to flick through the catalog on the 1st of March, so you'll be able to see all the stuff. You can do that from the main menu, in case you didn't know that. More new weapons, new splat charger. Then, exciting, more updates. This was announced, quite recently, maybe yesterday, a couple of days ago. So on top of the fresh season, the new catalog, they're going to introduce a new mode into Salmon Run, which you may remember as my favorite mode in Splatoon 2 and 3. And it's called Extra Work. Extra Work. So this is a event that you can do in Salmon Run. And if you compete with your friends or randoms in April, so this is, we've still got like another month and a bit away, you can compete to see who can get the most eggs in a certain amount of time. And then you'll be kind of like ranked, I guess. And then it's like a triangle thing. Yeah. So this one, you actually play through 5 waves. If you've never played Salmon Run before, they're usually only 3 waves.
Yeah, it's a shit.
Unless you do if you have a boss encounter, you might get a 4th wave, like the Kokozuna. But this one, you're doing 5 waves. So it's really much longer than regular Salmon Run. So in those 5 waves, you try and get as many eggs as you can. And then you'll be kind of ranked. And then if you're in the top 5%, top 20% or top 50%, you'll get different rewards. And on top of that, more stuff, they're adding a new mega boss character. So, they're also going to add new gear for Salmon Run, which they haven't done before. So this is brand new Salmon Run exclusive gear. This is gear that you wear when you're doing your Salmon Run missions, like new vest, new boots, new helmet, and stuff like that, which is pretty cool. And then I think it's the next one. Yes. So this is wild. This is absolutely crazy. So until now, if you have a boss encounter in Salmon Run, the boss is always the same. It's the Kokozuna, looks like a big kind of Godzilla-looking monster. So they haven't revealed what it looks like yet, but they're going to add a new boss monster called the Ouroboros, which is a giant, terrifying serpent. And if you kill it, you can get a sticker. I think you get like an object as well, like something
for your locker or whatever.
Yeah, something like that. So they're gonna have that little green thing on the right there.
Okay.
Like a little that's a statue of what the monster looks like. So they still haven't shown what the monster actually looks like, but that green kind of statue of it is kind of like a hint to what it looks like. So on the 3rd of March, so a couple of days after the new season starts, they're going to do a big run, which is the thing where Salmon Run takes over a regular stage. We've only had one so far, And this time, it's Inkblot Art Academy is going to be taken over by the Salmon Run. So yeah, it's going to be like covered in shit and like look like very, very different, like with all that kind of gross water and shit everywhere. And then you'll be able to fight this new boss monster as well. So yeah, lot of new stuff. And then I was just about wrapping up making this video of all the new stuff that got added. And then the Japanese Splatoon Twitter account, not the American or European one, only the Japanese one, just announced a new stage, like a brand new regular stage. In Japanese, it's called Nampura Ruins, but I don't actually know what the English name is yet, the localization name, unless that's been announced in the last 12 hours.
Wow.
I haven't checked it yet.
You're the Splatoon expert.
Yeah.
Asking the wrong two guys here. I mean, Ty knows quite a bit more than me, but yeah.
So yeah, here it is. Basically, it's like an Egyptian stage. Like it looks like, you know, in front of like an Egyptian temple or pyramids kind of looking stuff. Like it's like a archaeological dig in progress kind of thing.
Right.
And yeah, it looks awesome. So yeah, this is the first time they've added a brand new stage in Splatoon 3. It came out like September last year, right?
Yep.
So yeah, brand new stage. And in one of these videos, I can't remember which video it was, they kind of revealed another returning stage. I forgot where it is now, actually. Was it in the...
I saw that the other day. I saw it.
Is it? Oh, this one. When they were showing off the Kraken, if you look at this Kraken video again, the stage that is in this one is a Splatoon 2 stage that's coming back. It's the ship. I forgot what the name is. The ship stage is coming back from Splatoon 2.
I think that'll do.
Yeah. So it's yeah, people know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Call it the Minamonta or something like that. So yeah, we've got that new Aztec Egypt stage and then the returning Splatoon ship stage. So yeah. All of that Splatoon news just got announced, you know, after the direct. So that's not even the direct Splatoon news. That was as part of the presentation. So
yeah,
crazy.
JCat had a comment here when you were talking about the Splatoon 1 basically skin going on the levels. She said, I think it's really cool, James, because a lot of people did not have a Wii U, like me, like Jody. So it feels like Splatoon 1 will not be locked on the Wii U forever.
That is a good point. Yes, in that case, you're excused. Yes, enjoy.
The Transit Image had a question here too. It said, so as a resident Splatoon expert, he's probably talking to me, but I'll let you field this one, James.
Okay.
Now, do you think it's still worth getting Splatoon 2 now?
No. No. It's
just
go to Splatoon 3 because the best thing about Splatoon 2 was the added salmon run. And then Splatoon 3 has improved salmon runs so much that it makes going back to Splatoon kind of pointless.
Yeah. I mean, if you're buying it digitally, it's like, well, that Splatoon 2 probably is never going to go on sale ever again. Nintendo's going to pretend like it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
But if you're going like physical, I mean, like James said, I mean, there's still support for Splatoon 3, like obviously active support and stuff like that. Whereas Splatoon 2 is just, it is what it is. And
yeah. It's like, should you buy Super Smash Brothers 4 on Wii U? Or should I get Super Smash Brothers Ultimate? It's like, there isn't any question.
Get it on the Wii.
Manta Maria, thank you, Jacob. I said Minamonta, which is a Japanese celebrity. Yeah, Splatoon 1 is great. And there is one mode that's locked in Splatoon 1 that unfortunately JCat will never get to play. And that's the local, on one console, multiplayer. You can play 1v1, like a balloon battle kind of thing, where you shoot balloons. One person plays on the gamepad, the other person plays on the TV. And it's kind of wild. And yeah, I don't think that will ever come back. Unless you have, you could do it like local play, but then it's not the same because then you need two consoles. Right. You only need one console. It's totally amazing.
Transimage also says, "LOL. Well, I'm the weirdo who still plays Smash 4 on 3DS. So I mean, hey, dude,
Jesus Christ.
it's fine. Hey,
That is
I
weird.
really love the Street Pass mode on that game. Holy shit! I just buy a mini version of that. This little tops just basically pushing each other off of a stage. Okay, it's a Mario Party mini game basically.
I wonder what when we go back to when we do the Splatoon 1 DLC thing that's coming to Splatoon 3, I wonder what they changed the local multiplayer part of the map. They probably just changed that to something like the Salmon Run room or something like that. You know what I mean? Like there are things that were not in Splatoon 1.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
You know, that they need to make room for, or they need to create like a place to put that in. Like, yeah.
Damn, Lemonade, like Splatoon 1 is my favorite game of all time. Holy shit, man. I mean, I loved Splatoon 1. It was fine. Splatoon 2 is good. Splatoon 3 is awesome too, but like, holy crap, man.
He likes doing the torpedoes on the touchscreen.
Well, that stuff felt good.
Super jump to your friends by just touching them on the screen, right?
Right.
That's great.
All right. Well, we do got a lot of other stuff to cover.
There we go. Let's go on to the regular one. And the first thing on the agenda is more Splatoon. No.
Yeah. I'll kind of pick up right here. Just maybe give James's voice a break or something for a minute. No, but yeah, I mean, obviously we talked a lot about Game Boy stuff earlier on in the show. So I mean, yeah, we already know what's already out, but Nintendo also let us know some of the other stuff that is on the way, which is kind of nice. And the stuff that's been confirmed right now for the West, and most of these are about the same as North America and Japan, the West and Japan rather. But yeah, the Zelda Oracle of Ages, Oracle of Seasons game, Pokemon trading card game, Kirby and the Amazing Mirror. These are all games that are going to be coming to the Game Boy in the West. Kind of an oddball one that's going to be coming as well is the Frog for Whom the Bell Tolls, a game that very much looks a lot like Link to the Past. They didn't show any footage on the Direct. I'll maybe try to just throw up a video file of some of this stuff so that you can kind of see
That's
what I'm talking about.
Good title.
Right.
Japanese only, right?
Yeah, Japanese only. They never
localized.
Oops.
Love that sound.
Yeah, sorry. Wrong one. But yeah, at the end of the videos or the end of the segments and stuff like that, they talked about what's coming up next. If I can.
Oh yeah, they did like a little sneaky peek, didn't they?
Right. And
here's what you're not getting until later.
Yeah, and I mean, you could kind of see here. It's exactly the same. And then there's that little game at the very end that you could kind of see on the edge there, on the edge on the right side. And like I said, that's that Nintendo published The Frog for Whom the Bell Tolls, top-down perspective. Looks awesome. I bought it on 3DS, played it a bit there. I bought the physical version just like late last year because I found it for relatively cheap, boxed, all that type of stuff. So it's like, yeah, why not? And yeah, when it comes to Game Boy Advance, same type of stuff. All the stuff is pretty much, there's parity there. Metroid Fusion's going to be coming, F-Zero, Max Velocity, Kirby Tilt and Tumble, which is going to be interesting, Golden Sun, and then the original for North America and Europe and all that stuff, the original Fire Emblem on Game Boy Advance. Japan is actually going to be getting 2 Fire Emblem games. One of them is basically the North American, Western one, and then like a separate one. I'm not sure how this all falls in with the timeline of, Fire Emblem and stuff like that. But yeah, that is what it is. But you can kind of see.
We should talk about Kirby Tilt and Tumble. That's a pretty wild addition because that involves like actually incorporating motion control.
Exactly. So that'll be interesting to see how they. Well, I mean, it's the stuff's obviously built into the Switch, so it's stuff that can really. They could do it. It's not a problem. But it's an odd choice that's one of the ones that they chose to bring out there too.
Koro Kirby, is it? Koro is like rolling, isn't it?
I can't read the text; it's too small on my screen. But
this is the other one now, isn't it? This is the different Kirby.
Oh, these are the ones that's coming up.
Yeah.
Unless this one might be a little bit different in Japan. I'm not sure, but Yeah, so some pretty solid games coming in. Ty, like just looking at these and like the Game Boy titles that are still coming, like what do you think, man? I mean, I know you're like a resident curmudgeon, and that's fine.
Yeah.
I always like to hear your thoughts on this type of stuff.
Yeah, it's okay, I guess.
That's like basically like Ty giving out an A+ to like a student or something. So
Are any of these actually 2-player? Can we play any of these online together? Or I guess Mario Kart Advance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they kind of highlighted that at the latter part of the video.
Well, these are single-player games, aren't they?
Most of them are, but the multiplayer ones you can play. I haven't tried, obviously, any of them, but that's something that maybe we can try out, at least for Famicast Game Night. Maybe just something that we could just do for fun, too, at some point in the Discord.
Danny, I just realized something. The difference between this one and the other one is that because it's a Game Boy game, everyone gets their own screen.
Yeah.
Which is different from Mario Kart 64, where you're sharing 4 screens across 4 different continents.
Yeah.
So this one, they're actually emulating the link cable, right?
Yeah.
So same for Game Boy. They're like original Game Boy, right? They're like Tetris and yes, all of those other 2-player Game Boy games.
Yeah.
Which I don't know.
Sure
F1 or something? I don't know.
Sure.
How many 4-player Game Boy games are there?
Probably not a whole lot.
Let's see.
Killer Instinct would be 2-player, right?
Yeah. Like there are tons and tons of fighting games.
X versus Sever.
Yeah. GBA, Doom. That would be fun to play D-pad Doom on Switch Online. That might be kind of fun.
Konami YY Racers is the superior kart racing game on GBA, according to.
I have that right here. I didn't name drop that because I didn't. But yeah, you can play as like some real fucking weirdos in that game.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's cool, actually. I mean, if I can cajole you guys to playing Mario Kart Advance on Game Night instead of Mario Kart 64, that'd be cool. They got battle mode, right? They got a good battle mode in there.
Sure. Yeah, I think so. I mean, this is one of those things. Like, I never had other friends that, you know what I mean, link cables and hardware, like all that type of stuff.
You have to have the same fucking game.
Well, you could, with Mario Kart, they did have like you could do the cheap way and essentially what we call now download play or whatever.
Yeah,
but
the Yoshi mode, right? Yeah, I played the Yoshi mode where like everyone plays as like different colored Yoshi, and I don't even know how that works. How did it download data to the other console when it's just one cartridge and a cable?
Must have been small enough, like Animal Crossing.
Like it just has to be like little enough data so that it fits in the RAM of the GBA.
Yeah, exactly. And then you shut off as soon as you shut off the GBA, it's gone. Same with like this Animal Crossing stuff. Like you can send like NES games to it like that or whatever, but as soon as you turn off the system, boom, it's gone.
Yeah, I remember there was a little bit of loading between multiplayer matches. Now you mention it. Yeah, but I played 2-player mode back in the day. I never played 4-player. So it'd be cool to everyone to have their own character and being able to play 4-player, online. It's pretty wild.
It was so weird, man. Like I could never find GBA link cables back in the day. I could never find, for the GameCube to Game Boy Advance thing, I never found an official one. Like in my area where I lived, I bought some shitty third-party one that barely fit inside. Like it was Nyko or something like that.
Mine's like purple and like gray, and it looks
this
weird.
This is like a shitty color of orange, not even like spice orange, like GameCube and stuff like that. It was like this like dookie orange, and it's like, man, this sucks.
Lemonade says Konami Crazy Racers was on Wii U.
Yeah, I think that's why I knew it. Man, on the Nintendo World Report website, on their game database for virtual console stuff, I'm pretty sure up to a certain point, maybe like 2016.
That was all you, wasn't it?
I literally updated everything, and I went back and like corrected dates, added all region releases and stuff like that. So that specific part is, it's right, unless I was wrong on everything. But yeah.
Oh, Link to the Past 4 Sword Adventures. That's a good shout from Transient Image.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, 4 Swords Adventures, They did a GameCube kind of remake with that as well, didn't they?
Yeah.
Or remake or new version, whatever.
There was a DSiWare version of that too. It was limited edition. for the 25th anniversary.
Oh,
Anyways,
flashbacks now, yeah.
right. Right.
Right then.
Well, we covered the Splatoon bit, right? So it looks like we're moving on to Mario Kart then, huh?
No, we didn't, Danny. That's the Nintendo Direct Splatoon announcements.
Oh,
I talked about. Well, I'm joking.
okay.
I talked about the wave 1, which is coming
Whoops.
on the 28th,
Okay.
where you can visit Inkopolis from Splatoon 1. But wave 2, didn't talk about that one. That's going to be called Side Order, and it will launch in the future. End of sentence. So the trailer made it look like it was. Well, I don't know. I think it was a psych out because it looked like it was Marina, which is a Splatoon 2 idol character. But then when they showed her face, it wasn't Marina at all. Yeah.
Okay.
So Marina is everyone's favorite, the cute one from Splatoon 2. She is suspiciously missing from the Splatoon 3 story mode. All of the idol characters come back in this. Little bit of a spoiler. All of the idol characters come back in the Splatoon 3 story mode, except Marina. And then this is announced, and it looks kind of like Marina, but it's not. I don't know. It may or may not be a Marina single player story mode. But it didn't have any color. It was like all kind of white, like monotone.
Mm-hmm.
So it'd be really cool if it was like you're kind of painting the world kind of thing. If everything's white, like void of color, and then the only color is the paint that comes out of your weapon. I think that'd be really cool if they do like a cool twist on the story mode like that.
Super Mario Sunshine 2, basically.
There you go. Yep. Yeah. As always, Danny, you absolutely nail it.
I'm here. That's why I'm here.
JCat says, spoiler alert. Oh, I could spoil more than that from Splatoon 3 story mode. So next up, more DLC. Danny?
Yeah, actually, Ty, do you want to take this part about Mario Kart?
Jesus. Where the hell's the Mario Kart? Okay, Mario Kart Pack 4. New character Birdo and Yoshi's Island track. Wow, okay. Is that a new track? Never seen before? Brand new?
This is brand new.
Yeah.
Wow. Coming in air quotes spring.
Yoshi Island.
Yeah, so these some of these courses look actually pretty cool, and like
those,
obviously
those big blue monsters, what they call glogs or something like that, right? Blogs.
Really?
It was on the front box of Yoshi's Island, right? On the North American version?
Oh, those things. I have that over here, the Game Boy Advance one.
Birdo has a bunch of colors now,
right?
Has Birdo's never been in Mario Kart, right?
Don't think so.
Wait, I thought Birdo was in Double Dash.
Ooh.
It's on the other side of the room. I can't take a look.
All right, I'll Google it.
Yeah.
She would have had a massive egg as a special if she was in Double Dash, right?
Right.
Yeah, the new stage looks cool.
Yeah.
It's nice when they drop new stages that are not just returning ones. I don't have they done that with every pack so far? I think there's usually one brand new stage, but then it turns out
Birdo was in Double Dash.
Okay.
There you go. Returning Double Dash character.
Mario Universe's first transgender character.
Right.
Deep lore.
Yeah, Captain Rainbow, man. That's deep Famicast lore too.
That's right. Famicast episode 1, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, new stage looks cool. I like Yoshi's Island.
Yeah. These guys, James, the blue guys.
Yeah. Somebody needs to look up the name of that. I think it's something ridiculous like Glog or Blog or something like that. Anyway, They were in the background of that Mario Kart track.
Okay. Yeah, it looked sweet.
Yeah, in the last pack they had like Tokyo Drift, and then there was the Ninja Hideaway, and I thought Ninja Hideaway was a brand new track, but apparently that was a Mario Kart Tour track returning.
Right. Like several of those things I thought that, and when they clearly said like, nope, this is not, and I was like, oh, how did I get that? But it's something that sometimes these things just look so different that I just don't even realize.
Or they don't write it in the game, like on all of the returning tracks. When you select them, it has like in the bottom left, it'll say GCN or Wii or GBA. It'll tell you what game it came from. but with the tour ones, they don't write that. So it could either be tour or it could either be a new track. You have to find out later. But
Game
I believe
Killer,
it's new.
Game Killer 64 in the chat. Back to the Splatoon talk. I'm down for some Arena Focus DLC. It gives me Nier vibes.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah. Let's see where it goes. One other thing that kind of came out during the direct, which is something that I don't think anybody expected, given the state of level 5 recently, but a new Layton game is actually on the way to Switch. Like a proper Layton game, not something starring his daughter or Luke or whatever. No, it's actual Layton game with Layton.
Lady Layton.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah. So yeah, that's coming. What's the English title, James? Like something of Steam.
It's New World of Steam.
New World of Steam.
Brilliant.
Yeah, man. Like
Direct
again,
translation.
kind of like deep Famicast lore. Like within the first episode or two, yeah, I played my very first Layton was the Miracle Mask on 3DS in Japanese in 2011. Yeah, I didn't beat it. I mean, trying to solve riddles and like
in Japanese, yeah, good luck.
In Japanese, not obviously it's not my native language, but
I tried that too. It was a little tough.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, you can get through certain parts of it, but sometimes it's just guesswork. So you're like, even if this is in English, I probably wouldn't even know what the hell they're saying.
Oh, Game Killer has a good shout for the next character, Pauline. Yeah, they've been adding Pauline. I think Pauline was in one of the Mario Tennis, maybe the Switch Mario Tennis game.
Yeah.
So yeah, she's been showing up in games. So yeah, that's a good shout. Is she in the shitty smartphone game? I don't know. Maybe.
Everybody's there. I mean, like a stack of baby Goombas in a doctor suit or something. I mean, there's all sorts of crazy shit like that. So
3 baby Paulines on top of a Dr. Mario in a Goomba suit.
Right.
Pink baby metal Waluigi.
It's beyond parody at this point. The smartphone game, it's already has all the jokes. They're all real now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pauline is in tour. Nailed it.
Right.
Thanks, Lemonade.
The next thing up here is a very Japanese type of thing. And James, this really is.
Japanese.
Would you mind kind of taking that about Momotarō?
Momotarō Dentetsu is getting a new title in 2023. It's called Momotarō Densetsu wa Jikyo wa Kibo de Mawatteru.
Yeah.
It's going to release on Switch sometime this year, 2023. Previous games have the players travel across a game board based on Japan, but this new entry is Zawarudo.
Yeah.
Which is Japanese for the world.
Yes.
Is that a JoJo reference?
Sure.
So yeah, it's that train game that is only in Japanese. So
right.
we had a listener, didn't we? A viewer who liked this game.
Probably.
I had a student who liked this game.
Yeah, the Switch version, like the game that came out in late 2019, that has sold like over 3.5 million copies here in Japan.
Right, I was gonna say, didn't this sell fucking gangbusters?
This is the Japanese Call of Duty.
Right.
Exactly.
I can see the similarities.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Aesthetically, mostly.
Japanese people look at America and say, like, "What's this Call of Duty game that everyone's playing?" That's weird.
It looks weird.
Yeah.
Just stick to good old Momotarō Dentetsu.
That's right.
Yeah. But one kind of interesting thing, I remember when the TurboGrafx 16 Mini or whatever released, they had like a version of this on there, I think. Even on like maybe for the English one or something like that. I don't know if it was just locked to Japanese only or whatever, but like it's kind of weird. People in the West do have access to the series, kind of. I mean, outside of emulation and stuff like that. But yeah, interestingly enough, in like 2017 or 16 or something like that, Nintendo published a Momotarō Dentetsu game on the 3DS. And then since then, like Konami picked up the rights. It's kind of like a complicated, weird, messy situation, I guess, with this license. But yeah, popular game.
It's wild.
Yeah. There it
So,
is.
sorry, did I read out when it's coming out?
Yeah, you did this year.
Oh yeah, this year. That's right.
Some
Sometime
point.
this year.
Yeah.
You can read a fantastic article on our website. You should do that.
Yes.
I don't know who wrote it, but it's up there.
Some idiot.
Yep.
Yeah. Obviously, of course, too, Pikmin 4 was shown off during the Direct. The game that for a long time people just thought Miyamoto and this Nintendo in general forgot about. Because apparently it was finished 10 years ago. And
The game that's been done for 10 years coming out.
Yeah. No, Ty, I mean, obviously, again, this is like your, quote unquote game journalism days, but were you down
Yeah.
with Pikmin back in the day?
Yeah, it's a fun game.
Okay. Did you play like 2 or, well, probably not 3, but did you play 1 and 2 or just 1 or?
I think I just played 1.
Okay. Yeah, I bought 1 when it came out at launch and liked it. I beat it like years later or whatever, but yeah, mildly interested in this. I like before this Direct and before I even knew the Direct was happening, I really thought about just like throwing down on Pikmin 3 on the Wii U and then also buying it physical on the Switch just for the hell of it. But then I was like, yeah, that's kind of a waste of money. Just didn't do it.
Here's a throwback to something I mentioned previously earlier in this episode. I bought Pikmin, the Japanese version,
Oh,
for a very, very specific reason. And Ty might be able to work it out.
Did it come with something?
No, it was to use. I wanted the save data on my memory card so it would unlock something in another game.
I
Right.
know exactly what it is.
Okay, this sounds familiar. Yeah.
And I did that because I'm a fucking maniac. It was to get the last trophy in Melee.
Okay.
Yep.
Yep.
I bought it, played it, didn't really like it, and sold it. So yeah, that's
Oh.
that's my story with Pikmin.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
got every trophy in Melee, every single trophy, achievement, whatever it is. Yeah. Good game.
Well, yeah, I mean, they put a dog in this one. Ice Pikmin 2.
I love that. Great segue from Danny. Yep, so put a
Yeah.
dog in it. Anyway, moving on.
Yeah, there it is.
Poochie is back.
Yes, exactly. So, and somebody mentioned this too. Nintendo seems to not know that dogs have noses, but they do.
They did.
But this dog and then the dog in like Yoshi's whichever Woolly World or something like that, whatever. Anyway.
Poochie. Yeah.
Yep. Pikmin. Some people are excited about it. I'm happy for them.
When's it come out again?
July 21st worldwide.
Summer. All right then.
Yeah, next up, I don't have a video or anything for this one, but Samba de Amigo, Party
Samba
Central.
de Amigo.
Yeah, coming out this summer. Or if you're down under, coming out this winter. Yeah, look fun. I mean, Samba de Amigo. Yeah,
It's got multiplayer and online multiplayer too.
Okay.
Yeah, that was leaked like 2 days before the Direct. 1 day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Right on.
Next.
James, you want to take those next couple of ones?
Okay, Omega Strikers is free to play, and it comes out on April 27th, and it plays like a team-based version of Flying Power Disc, aka Windjammers, which you may know.
Okay.
Basically, this is perfect for game night. So yeah, it's Windjammers, but it's free and it's team-based. So yeah, we can all throw discs at each other. April 27th. Hopefully next game night will be after that. Before that? We'll see. Anyway, yeah, it looks fun. So yeah, end of April that comes out. And that's called, once again, Omega Strikers. And the next one, well, I think, isn't this more for Ty?
Yeah, exactly. I was just thinking the same thing.
Ty predicted / wanted it to happen.
Yeah, Advance Wars 1 and 2 Reboot Camp, April 21st. It has a date. Vladimir Putin told him it was okay.
He did. Yeah.
Yep, April 21st. That's the date. It's happening.
Yeah, but at least for the West, there's been no hint of this at all for the Japanese market. I don't know kind of why that is. I mean, part of it's what this is Western developed too, right? So, I mean, that's
Right,
probably
it's made by Way Forward.
Yeah.
They're doing the remake.
Ooh, looking at a very fancy cutscene now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, originally, obviously, Intelligent Systems, it didn't seem like it was that unpopular here. They made so many. I mean, it was Famicom Wars, and it was Famicom Wars even all the way up to like this point or whatever, I believe.
Yeah,
Right, yeah, that's what it's
Game
called
Boy
in
was.
Japan.
Or Game Boy Wars too, yeah.
Game Boy Wars,
Oh.
Famicom Wars, Advance Wars, and
Yep.
Battalion Wars was another one, right?
Oh, well.
I was just thinking of that. Like,
GameCube, right?
yeah, sort of a similar game to Pikmin. Did that game come out or was it canceled?
No, it came out. I had it.
Yeah, there was a
Okay.
Wii sequel as well, like Battalion
Weird.
Wars 2, wasn't
Okay.
it? Yeah.
I remember playing it at E3, and it was like the last I ever thought of it.
Yeah, it's not great. It's weird. It's definitely different than this. Yeah.
But this is straight up the first two games from
Yeah.
the Game Boy Advance, right?
Exactly.
Wow, more Game Boy Advance chat. There you go.
Right.
I
Right.
wonder if they're rebalancing anything.
Yeah, who knows? I mean, hard to tell. I mean, that's not something we won't know until April 21st or and beyond. So,
All right.
we are
Yeah,
now.
I'm really interested to find out. Maybe I should
Cool.
see if they've done any QAs on Twitter or anything.
Yeah. Wow.
Oh, so Ty, you actually interested in getting this?
Yeah, it's like the only Switch game I'm gonna buy like this year.
Nice. Looking forward
Nice.
to it.
Nice.
Find out how much they fucked it up / improved it after that, April 21st.
Yeah, I'm sure it's gonna be an improvement. Like if they
Can actually see what's going on.
retooled anything in the game, it would probably be for the better.
Hmm.
'Cause, I mean, it's still a good game, but like with like 20 fucking years of hindsight, yeah, so it's like some of the CO balance not good.
Does it have online, Danny? Do you know?
I have no idea, honestly. Like if it was on the Japanese Direct, I could probably be like, well, actually, at 5 minutes 21 seconds, but it wasn't. So, yeah.
I'm gonna assume it does, but we'll
Well, it's
see.
Western developed, so there's more likely that it is. But
Unless
Right.
they
you
got
never know.
pushback from Japan, it said, "Why do you want to do that?
What the
Just let
hell
me
is the
predator."
internet?
Yeah,
Get that online shit off that game.
get the sexual predators out of my games.
Right? I mean, certainly they must have done something with all this extra development time, right?
You would hope. Literally, just sat on a shelf for a year, maybe. Yeah.
Alrighty.
Last bit, of course, I think needs no introduction. There was a new trailer for The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom.
Tears of the
Yeah.
Kingdom, yeah. Loving
Tears
it.
of the Kingdom. Excuse me. It's Christian name.
They've
Zelda.
there was a art book that got leaked, and that I didn't read the leaks, but something to do with vehicles. But the vehicles were kind of shown in this trailer anyway, so I don't really see how that's a leak. But
Right.
yeah, it looks like a little bit Banjo and Kazooie nuts and bolts, doesn't it?
Really?
No, I'm not kidding. Like
Okay.
there were the I think Game Explained did a rundown of the trailer.
Okay.
3-minute trailer, 3.5 hour Game Explained video.
Right. Of course.
There's various parts of the trailer where you can see the cogs and parts that then become the thing that Link is riding on in the end of the trailer. So it looks like you are collecting parts and putting them together.
Okay.
So yeah, and it also looks like you can build flying vehicles as well as land vehicles,
You can build a horse.
and you can build a horse as well. But yeah, it looks like they've added a lot of in the sky section. I mean, you can pre-order this now on the eShop, right? And there is there's a little blurb that you can read, and it does talk about conquering the skies and the ground of Hyrule or something like that.
Yeah, and I mean, just from any of the trailers, obviously what we're watching now, there's always just been a lot of Link in the sky, flying around or jumping Skyward Sword style, from high places and stuff like that. So, yeah,
the draw distance has also been vastly improved. People have noticed, like they've gone to the same spot in the trailer shown in this trailer, and then gone to the same spot in Breath of the Wild. and like, trees and other objects which were just kind of blurry, kind of like far in the distance on Breath of the Wild, are now much more clearer and actually more rendered and with more detail, like shrubbery and trees and stuff like that. There is more going on.
Right.
So yeah, the engine has been improved, which you would expect after 6 years. I mean, they even improved it from launch to like a couple of months later, right? Like there were terrible frame rate problems with the launch version of Breath of the Wild,
right,
which were patched out later. So it's kind of like that, but over 6 years they've patched it up real good.
Right. And I mean, another thing too with Breath of the Wild, I mean, it was being developed, obviously it started out on the Wii U and then they moved it over to Switch and simultaneously, made both versions. So I mean, that probably had something to do with it, I think, to an extent. They also, I remember seeing somewhere they said something like they didn't want the Switch version to seem like too much better or some crazy shit like that, which I could see that, because then that's basically like, would basically be like telling everybody else like, hey, don't buy the shit version on Wii U, get it on the Switch only, or vice versa, or however it would play out. So
Danny, I just paused the trailer at this point.
Yeah.
Can you see those objects on the right,
yeah,
like the cogs and stuff? These are the parts that were then used in the vehicle at the end.
okay, I see what you're
Jim
saying.
explained, kind of analyzed it. Yeah, Link kind of grinding down some rails.
Right. Very
Skateboarder
Sonic
style.
Adventure 2 vibes there. James is a huge fan.
Sure.
Yeah. Obviously, well, maybe not obviously, but it looks like, his metal hand is going to take place of essentially the Wii U gamepad,
Right.
for doing like the different magical abilities and stuff like that, where you can move around things and like all that type of crap. So that's neat.
Yep,
But-
looks hype as fuck. So yeah, it's cool. Looking forward to that.
Mhm.
That'll be probably up there with the most played games for a lot of people for this year.
Yeah. And before, like we talked about it in the last episode, but a lot of people in North America in particular were, the leak happened where it's like, oh man, this game's going to be like $70 as opposed to 60 or whatever, and everybody was really mad. And then Nintendo said, yep, that's the case. But yeah, here in Japan, and I think a lot of maybe other territories too, the price hasn't really changed too much.
Right. I was going to say, if you go to the eShop, they've got the voucher system still here in Japan, which I think is it coming back in the States?
It's already back.
It's back, right?
Yeah.
You can buy both Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, and I think they're the same price.
In Japan, you mean?
In Japan, it's like
Yeah,
7,000 yen. They're both 7,000 yen. So it's like there's no difference.
I think I wrote it down in the agenda. Yeah, Tears of the Kingdom is 7,900 yen, whereas Breath of the Wild is 7,678. So
there you go.
Yeah,
so like $2 difference.
Yeah.
But like if you get the voucher, that's 9,900, right?
Yeah.
So if you buy the voucher, you can get both Zelda games for like you're saving like 5,000 yen.
Yeah, get that and get like Fire Emblem or something like that. You'd be saving a whole lot of money. Xenoblades and stuff like that. It's crazy.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a good deal. I mean, I don't think there's a second game that I want, so I don't think I'm going to do it this time. I mean, it would just be Zelda for me.
Yeah, I mean, I pre-ordered the collector's edition like the day that the direct happened. I was going to like one of the busiest schools that I teach at, so like I had like 10 minutes and I was like on my phone frantically going. It was like already like 10:30 in the morning, like 3 hours after the direct. The Link Amiibo was already sold out completely, and I was like, oh, of course. But they still had physical collector's editions available with a physical copy of the game, because Japan has some copies where you can get the box and like a download code, blah blah blah. But I ended up pre-ordering the collector's edition of this from My Nintendo Japan, and but I'm still thinking, man, like I was always thinking with Breath of the Wild, it would have been really nice to have this digitally. Maybe I'll just double dip like a dummy. We'll see.
There it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you haven't got Splatoon 3 yet, get that as your second game.
I already got it.
I'm talking to the audience, Danny.
Oh, okay. Whew.
Is that all for the Japanese? Well, we're going long, aren't we, today? Holy
Yeah.
shit.
Well, Ty, I just do that little bit about Evo there.
Oh yeah. Just earlier today or last night, they announced the lineup and the date for Evo in the USA. It's gonna be August 4 to 6, and there are 8 main titles, and 3 of them you can play on Switch, which are Melty Blood, Type Lumina, Mortal Kombat 11, and Dragon Ball Fighters. Yeah, so fucking get in there, get good,
Right.
head on down to Vegas and send some people home.
Yeah. Just one other last little bit too. I mean, obviously something that just came out yesterday. Again, it's almost kind of like reiterating stuff that we've already heard. Is that Microsoft's vice chair and president Brad Smith, he basically kind of reiterated, said like, hey, we have negotiated and signed a binding 10-year agreement to bring Call of Duty to Nintendo players day and date with Xbox and full featured content parity, all this type of stuff. And he also went on to say some other stuff that basically makes it seem like, there is more than just Call of Duty that might be on the horizon for Nintendo and Xbox. So we'll see where that takes us. Maybe that, I don't know. And Ty, I don't want to get too deep in this because I know we are running pretty long, but like, what do you think? Do you think Microsoft would be bold enough or dumb enough, or however you want to say this, to bring like Xbox Cloud Gaming to Switch? And I wonder if Nintendo would even allow that.
Seems maybe. I think like getting a return on investment on that might be a tough sell, but maybe. Who knows?
Yeah, because I was trying to think too, like what could Nintendo do to even get anything out of that deal? Like I don't think it could be something you pass on to the consumer. Like, hey, if you're Game Pass subscriber already, cool, pay an extra $2 and you can get it on your Switch too. It's like, no, not gonna do that. But
yeah, who can
anyway.
say? Who can predict anything in this wild ass industry anymore?
No kidding. All right. Well, that is going to do it for the healthy dose of JAPANews. James, are we skipping out on the Fukubukuro today then, or?
There's a couple of games.
Oh,
very short.
Show me a couple of games.
All right.
Well, the music already started, Danny. So I don't know why are you interrupting the music?
Excuse me.
Yes, this is the Fukubukuro Fabulousness mini version today. This is the part of the show where I'm going to tell you what game you're going to buy. So just shut up and buy it. All right? Okay.
Mandatory fun.
Mandatory. Exactly. So yes, if you see some games that you have played, let us know and recommend them for everyone to play. There are a couple of games actually. Maybe Danny and Ty will be interested in some of these. So something that hasn't been mentioned before. Hold on, I just scrolled past it. New Super Lucky's Tale, a game that I very much enjoyed. Probably the best 3D platformer out of Microsoft ever. Like literally ever. It's actually really good. Is $9.89. It's usually $30. It's now under $10. Get it. Do it. It's a great game. And the other one was there's so many games on sale this week. I don't know what's going on here.
Right.
Why is it so many games on sale?
Dude, it's ridiculous.
Seems to be more than usual. We talked about Burnout Paradise before. Burnout Paradise is on $10 as well. Golf Story is $7. That's less than half off. So yeah, that's a lot of fun. I played like on game trials, and yeah, it's really cool. There's also a sequel, right? Sports Story.
Yeah, they're
not as good.
Fixing that, or maybe
still
paying
fixing
their
it.
workers. I don't know.
This game, Mextermation Force, is done by the same guy who did Gunman Clyde.
Okay.
So it's kind of like it's a run and gun game, and it's supposed to be really good. Yep, that's $7 right now. And the Toem, A Photo Adventure. This was in a direct.
Mm-hmm.
And
remember that?
Yeah, it's like all like black and white game, like and you're taking photos and stuff like that. Really cool. Metacritic score of 79. That's half off. It's $10, just under $10. And there was another one I wanted to talk about. Going back up here, Inertial Drift. That's the kind of Japanese-based kind of drifting racing game. $9. Right. It's the cheapest it's ever been. If you like drifting games, like Initial D or something like that, I like how they've made the names sound almost like Initial D.
Right. It's kind of a stylistic looking game too, isn't it? Like cell shaded.
Very stylish. Yeah, like you get the neon lights and stuff going around the corners and stuff like that. And there was one for Danny. Oh, Danny, the Sega Genesis collection is on sale again. 70% off. Yeah. Perfect for your Genesis controller.
How many games in that? Like 20 or 30?
$9.
I thought there was more than that. Maybe
I think it's 30.
Okay, yep. 30.
Still. $9, Danny. $9. Get it. This one, The Kids We Were. This I mentioned this like I think it was games announced too late to be mentioned in the Fammies kind of award. Right. I thought it looked really interesting. It ended up getting quite a good score, review score. So this is the game which like voxel kind of game like this. So it's kind of like Earthbound, but it's in Japan and it's voxel, so it kind of looks like The Tourist. If you remember The Tourist, the game that I talked about. So yeah, it's like, if you're a kid in Japan growing up playing Famicom games, and it looks really amazing. You can complete it in under 8 hours. There it is. Metacritic score of 81. And how much is it? Yeah, $8, just over $8. And I think that was everything for worth mentioning today. Oh, Retro Racing. We talked about it before, but it's $2, $2.79 today. So it's the lowest price ever.
Yeah, I made a review for that back in 2019. Check it out. Dig through the YouTube videos. You can probably find it.
Yeah. Can you do a quick scroll down for me? I want to give some shout outs to games. Let's go. Keep going. R-Type Dimensions? Hell yeah. That's sick.
Okay.
Keep going.
$7.49. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. What else? I saw Blasphemous. That 2D Dark Souls. That game is awesome.
Yeah, I think we've mentioned that before.
Yeah. What else? Keep
going. Mr. Driller Land.
Thunder Force.
$2.79. I think a lot of Sega classics are on sale today.
Yeah. Let's see. Keep going. Indivisible, good game. Scott Pilgrim, that is a good price for it. $5.
$4.94. Yeah, under $5. I Am Dead. I think I recommended that to you, Ty, once.
Maybe. Rings a bell.
I thought it was just casual conversation.
Yeah. Wish I was dead.
Keep going. Yeah, let's see. Burnout Paradise, always fun. I saw something else down here. Keep going. Yeah, there's Blasphemous.
$6.25.
Yeah, that's a good price. That's sick. Moving Out, we played that together. That's fun. XCOM Collection, always good. Let's see. Planet Alpha, I fucking hate that game. For the King is a game I just got on Xbox Games with Gold. I'll probably have played it by next week.
Roguelike tabletop adventure.
Okay. Rock of Ages. Let's go. Damn, $3 for Rock of Ages 2. Let's go. That game is sick. Play it with your friends.
Blizzard Arcade Collection. I skipped by that one. That's $10. It's good deal.
I think I did buy that on sale previously.
Lost Vikings, Rock and Roll Racing, and Blackthorn.
Yeah.
If I remember. Yeah. All good games.
Yep.
Cool.
All right. I think I'm good. Yep.
Buy it. Do it.
Man, just 20 fun.
Well, it's your turn now anyway, Ty.
Oh, yeah. It's garbage day.
Anime trash.
Yeah. So I only have 3 boxes this week. So I was kind of lazy about shipping stuff out. So like I got stuff on the way.
Okay.
But I do have a box. I forgot. I left it out of sight last week when I had like 8 fucking boxes. Well, 2 weeks ago. But yeah. And so let's get in this box right away. This is from Toreba, the infamously difficult UFO catcher site, I would say, but they kind of make up with it for being more generous with free plays. So let's see, what do I got here? Oh, I got what's her face from the fucking quintuplets.
Oh, quintuplets again.
Yeah, more quintuplets, and like she has like a big white shirt. That's it. I don't know what's under it. You want to find out?
Rated M for mature.
All right. Well, but this one, here we go. This is it. I got the Uzaki-chan.
Okay.
You may remember her from an internet culture war a couple of years ago.
Talking to the wrong guys.
All right. So if you're not terminally online, here's what happened. In Japan,
A war that you started, Ty.
Yeah, I did it. It was all my fault. So a few years ago in Japan, I think in 2020, there was a blood drive, and they used this character on a promotional poster for it, and she was like leaning over. She's got these huge fucking boobs, like it says "Sugoi Dekai" on her shirt, right? Right, and somebody with a lot of Twitter tweeted that like this makes me uncomfortable. This is a bit much. This is like the over sexualizing an anime character and on a fucking blood donation poster. There's no place for this. And there was like this whole fucking culture war about it online, and it spread to America, and the whole thing was extremely stupid. and now I have the figure. There you go.
Wow. So people were like both ways. People were upset about it. People were like, how dare you talk ill of my big boob girl with the blood drive.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
It's Japanese culture.
Yeah.
Yes.
We must protect the sanctity of big boob anime girls or whatever.
Yes.
You know how it goes.
If you're a student studying Japanese in your home country right now, these are the type of things that you will see in your textbook in the next 2 or 3 years.
Right. Jesus Christ. You probably see it in your textbook now.
The ancient Japanese culture
right.
of big boobs.
I love you, big boob anime girl. All right.
Like and subscribe, and Ty will undress one of his anime figures live on the Famicast.
I could go back to the quintuplet girl if you want. All right. I have no idea where I left my box cutter, so I'm going to try to pry this thing open with a Phillips head screwdriver.
Join the Patreon. If you
Yeah.
wanna see anime.
Buy me a new box cutter. Jesus Christ. I must have some scissors or somewhere. Where did it go? Anyway, this is a box from Tokyo Catch.
Okay.
Yeah, Tokyo Catch is a very US friendly site. So you can totally get in there, play it. I think after you put in like $20, you get like a free daily ticket for life. So it's a pretty good deal. And I've gotten a number of things with my free daily tickets. They've probably lost money on me.
You're one of a kind when it comes to that, I think, Ty. Like
Yep.
not many people, at least, that are
Like, oh god,
spending the time that as you are. doing
it's that weird guy again.
Yeah, right.
Like I said, when they ship to me in Japan, like all the labels are like handwritten.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing they don't ship a lot inside Japan.
Okay.
They mostly ship outside Japan. Like I do all the transactions in like US dollars.
Okay.
All right, what do I got? Oh, I finally got the Winter Miku. I forgot about this. Right, it's not the Christmas Miku, it's the Winter Miku.
Okay.
It has this nice fur coat thing going on. It's
Her
great.
legs look cold.
Yeah. True. She has a little tail, I guess. She's a fucking furry now.
Perfect.
All right. There we go. And now on to our third and final box. Actually, I think I missed a shipment today. I have to dig through all my like fucking spam physical mail to find the slip.
Oh.
All right.
I saw Molly on the box.
Yeah. This is drugs.
Yes. Is that a
Molly
nickname
Online
for-
is a site I started using more recently. They seem to have a lot of VTuber stuff on there.
Right. Okay.
Like That's how I found out about it. I was watching some fucking VTuber, and they were trying to like win a figure of themselves, and I'm like, this is so meta. I gotta get this. So let's see what fucking trash I got from them today. And they actually let me play the takoyaki machines with my free daily tickets, which is insane. It's like so much free shit. All right. Oh yeah. I got this Christmas figure like way late.
Did you like win it like around Christmas time or something?
No.
Oh, you just won
I
it?
tried
Okay.
numerous times, but like it was never easy enough to get for free. But I finally got it on Molly Online. Here we go. Wow, it is kind of horny.
Right.
All right, I'm just gonna put this in the box with the Christmas shit until next year.
Yeah.
And
Baby.
I got this little plush guy.
Okay.
I know I have a friend in America who likes this show. This is like from Golden Kamui, so I'm gonna send this to him.
I don't even know what that is.
I don't either. I've never seen it, but he likes it, and he asked me to get some UFO catcher shit from it,
Cool.
and I'm gonna deliver.
It's time. Yes.
Yep. Yeah, I'm the best.
There it is.
You hired the best. All right, so that's a short and sweet UFO catcher trash for today.
Some thirsty figures there.
Yeah, I'm so glad I finally got the Uzaki-chan, and now I can join this culture war that I've heard so much about.
Right.
Are you pro Uzaki or anti Uzaki? Let's have a fist fight about it.
Good.
The guys who are strictly audio only for the podcast, that'll get them rolling into the YouTube version, won't it?
Right.
Just
Right.
Google Uzaki-chan. Let me see how work safe this is.
Well, I mean, hey, while Ty's doing that, I mean, I will say, just as an aside, we have chapters in the audio version of the show. We have chapters in the YouTube version of the show. So, like, if there's ever something that you want to go back and listen to, you can do that easily anytime. So, check it out.
Yeah, like I'm not #1 anime expert or anything, but I think the controversy actually helped propel Uzaki-chan enough to like get an animated version, which has come out in the last couple years. So you might want to put your eyes out for that one.
There it is.
Yep.
Cool.
Big boob anime girl. A tale eternally retold.
Wouldn't be anime trash without that's for sure. Cool.
Yep. That's anime trash. But
I would say there's a lot of different feedback things to go through, but I think we did have quite a bit of feedback, through the throughout the live show with you guys doing the comments.
Anyone?
James, you want to pull up Twitter just in case? Just pull up Twitter. Yeah, feedback. If you guys have anything that you want to shout out to us, shout out on live show, that's fine. Hit us up on Twitter at the Famicast, Gmail for longer ones, thefamicast@gmail.com. Hit us up on YouTube comments, and we read everything. Might not get to it on the show exactly, but might be able to get your stuff read out like these guys. James, how about Twitter, man?
Yeah, I can't really see any replies.
Okay.
Many replies to anything, but yeah, follow us on the Twitters, the Famicast, at the Famicast. Sorry, and check out the website. We actually have a little bit. Well, it's not really feedback, but kind of important announcement that we should have probably mentioned in Now Playing.
Okay.
Is that we have a new patron. He joined a couple of days after the last episode, and he was in the live chat earlier. C. Hudson. What up? Welcome to the Patreons. He's already been in the exclusive Discord channel, the Family Friends channel.
Oh yeah, during the course of the podcast, I added a new emote to the Discord. Check it out.
Nice. Yeah, you should go by the Discord. Discord is free to join. There is a exclusive channel for the paid patrons, but yeah, it's free to join. You should come in and chat and troll us all day, every day. We're there every day, 24 hours a day.
Yeah, if you want to find like the Discord, I put it on the Famicast website, famicast.com. If you go to I think it's the contact us section of the site, you can find a direct link to join that way. It's just there, always there. So just in case you ever forget.
If you want to ask Danny a question at 2 a.m., he's there. He's available. No problem.
Yes.
Just wake him up, call him on Discord. He'll be there. He'll answer your question no matter what.
I am bad at Discord, I'll tell you that. Like half the time I'll see a message like a day later. I'm like, oh yeah. Somebody said something.
Forgot to share the website as well. Look at this beautiful website.
Oh yeah. I forgot. Yeah, Pokemon Presents is coming up next week too. So if you're if you're into Pokemon and stuff, you got something to look forward to there. You guys missed out on MLB The Show tech test that just came out. It was like last week, free baseball for like potentially jankiness and stuff like that. But yeah, it's fun.
Yep.
And lots of questions and just comments about like the Power Pros games on the YouTube comments and stuff like that. I've read everything and I've been keeping up on them, at least like you're responding via text. So if you guys have any more questions like that, yeah, seriously, even if we don't read them out on the show, we see them, we'll answer them somehow. You know, like I said, Discord's a good place to go to. So yeah, crap, James, like
Katamari Damacy, I forgot.
What's that?
The Katamari Damacy was a Game Trials game.
Yeah, but hey, it's kind of crazy because it was last week in Japan and it's this week in the West.
What?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so if you missed out on the Japanese version, you can still play it in probably your country of choice.
Awesome. Yeah,
cool.
That's a game that I don't really feel comfortable splashing down 20 bones for it, but you know, it's always fun. So I'd like to play that.
Sure. Cool.
Jinsei64 in the chat says he's in enough Discords with Ty. Doesn't need another one.
Right?
Yeah. Change the image.
Fair enough.
Oh. Yeah, Change the image also says, I'd love to see you guys do a collab with Tokyo Game Life in the future, since you're now apparently part of the same podcast network. Love both your guys' work. Cool. Who knows what's going to happen? TokyoBeat podcast network. We're part of that. Still kind of getting started with all that type of stuff. So who knows what the future is going to hold with that. But
that's right. All I know is that people have been asking my autograph, twice as much as usual. So that's pretty cool.
Right. Exactly. Don just popped into the chat here too, and he said, "Hey, €4.99 for Katamari as part of the game trial." Yeah, it's on sale everywhere too. It's on sale in Japan as well. It's probably on sale in your region. Check it out if that's something that interests you.
Available now.
Literally. All right. Well,
let us know in the chat or whatever Twitter's. Let us know if you're doing the game vouchers. Are you going to get a game voucher like Zelda Tears of the Kingdom? What would be your second game? That's a good kind of thing to throw out to the audience.
Yeah.
I don't know what's easier for you guys. I mean, YouTube, like YouTube comments, or Twitter. I don't know. It's up to you.
Whatever.
Discord,
whatever.
Let's do it. Yeah, Discord's good too.
Yep. Cool.
All right then. It's getting late. Wow, that was a long regular episode, isn't it? 2 hours 20 minutes. Damn.
Well, like James just said, that is actually going to do it for the Famicast 240. Thank you guys so much for participating in the chat and stuff like that. That's been a lot of fun. We're going to go ahead and give our Twitter handles out so that you can know where to hit us up. If you want to follow me, you can follow me at DannyBiv, DANNYBIV, JC.
I'm at Anime Boob Blood Drive. That's on Mastodon. But for Twitter, I'm still at Family Complicated. Ty?
All right, I'm Super Cat Drugs on Twitter. I might commit to Mastodon posting sooner or later. And on there, I'm Cat Drugs at FGC Network.
There it is.
.com.
Yeah. It's .network.
Same thing.
Right?
Not
like
really.
the suspicious spam emails you get with like domains you've never heard of.
Right.
That's right. I'm .network. Let's go.
Cool.
Thanks, Don, for reposting my new Twitter handle. Thanks.
Yes, perfect.
Watch out for Don. He posts the huge spoilers and leaks.
Nice.
There it is.
That's why we follow him.
Yes.
Right? It's a good tweet.
Cool. All right. Well, again, that's going to do it for the show. Thank you guys so much for stopping by, all that type of stuff. Got another show in 2 weeks.
Here's hopefully a spoiler for you. Zelda's a girl.
There. Boom.
Uh-oh.
Yep.
Samus is a robot.
No,
No,
he isn't.
Metroid is a robot. Samus is his girlfriend that he has to rescue. That's the story of Metroid.
There it is.
That's right.
We'll catch you guys later.
Peace.